The gray bearded ones.
Did you call me gray beard?
Yeah, gray bearded ones.
Oh, I was gonna say you got more gray than I do. I haven't. I
I
used
gotta
to.
do. I'm coming up with a new supplement line. The copy of yours. It's docile. It's docile.
That's your girlfriend crawling
She's fucking
away.
sneak attacking out of here. The fucking ninja.
I
Doesn't want to
should
be on camera.
have. Is your girlfriend like that all the time?
What with not being on camera?
Yeah,
Yeah, not really into it.
Summer's like that, man. She hates the camera. If I'm
Yeah.
if I'm filming anything in the house, like if I'm doing a
She's like,
story, yeah, she's just disappeared. She's somewhere. What's going on, guys? This podcast is brought to you by Marek Health, and I have been working with them for some time now. Now, originally, I got a whole host of blood markers checked. I had my hormones optimized. I had everything explained to me that was going wrong, that we needed to fix. And to be honest with you, this is just something that a regular doctor, family doctor, or most traditional doctors don't want to do, don't want to recommend, or even more so, just don't understand. This is my page. This is the RBP page at marekhealth.com. If you check it out, you see the different lab panels or checkup panels that you can get. Listen, one of the things that is so important about Marek is they treat everybody individually. No two people are the same, and no two people are going to get the same recommendations. This is not a cookie cutter system. This is very individualized, and that is the most important. You're not going to get this type of nuance in any other place that you go to, and that's why I've chosen them to work with. This is about taking a completely healthy athlete and optimizing their nutrition and optimizing their health, optimizing their hormones to make sure they can succeed faster and better than the average guy who does not know what's going on with their body. Guys, check out marekhealth.com/RBP. Use code RBP at checkout and learn how to get your body in sync so you can keep growing and keep being the best you can be. Listen, I used to dye my beard, and then I just
don't do that.
kind of gave up on it.
Just let it go, man. Don't fight it.
No,
all these dudes who get like hair transplants and stuff. Are you getting one of those?
No, I'm not getting hair transplants. But this is the thing: I used to dye it, but I was
just for men.
Yeah, but not like the not like the black, just the in between, so it didn't look like horrible. But then I kept having to trim the sides, and every time I trimmed the side, it would grow back gray. So I was like, I'm like, I can't keep up. Every time I trim, it just comes back gray. So I gotta I was like, fuck it, I gave up.
Nature's way of telling you, man.
Yeah, but you look good with the gray in your beard. You don't look old. I look old.
I look old as shit. Look at me.
No, you don't.
I look like I'm 50.
No,
I'm 42.
Okay, you got comment below. Does he look 42?
Every bit of 42.
If you didn't have gray in your beard, I wouldn't think you looked 42.
What about now?
So what's going on, man? How you been? I haven't talked to you in a couple weeks.
I've been good. Just doing the same old stuff.
Hey, remember you said something to me about hating people at the airport, and then we never talked about it.
Oh fuck! I hate everybody everywhere, but I fucking hate people at the airport for sure.
What happened? I know.
You know what's the fucking most asinine thing you can do, unless you're like new to this planet?
What
is like? Why are you bringing everything with you through security? Like people who don't check a bag. That's my biggest pet peeve.
What do you
check
mean?
a bag, man? Just check your bag. Like,
what do you mean? They have a carry-on. What's the big deal?
Yeah, but just check it.
Why?
Like, let's get this process going. Because the bag will be on the plane. We don't have to go through the whole thing of there's only room for so many carry-ons,
but what if
people have to check their bag, and then people are like, I put my bag way the fuck down there. I gotta wait till the fucking plane empties and get it back.
But what if you have stuff in your carry-on that you need?
Yeah, carry-on's fine. If you have a bag or something. But I'm saying don't bring your whole trip's worth of clothing and you slammed it in a carry-on and you're fucking dragging it through just because you don't want to pay $45 or whatever to fucking check a bag.
It's not even. I think it's 25, isn't it?
And most of the times it's you get one free.
Yeah.
People don't even take no, I don't trust them.
No, but that's what they do. They'll check one for free and then they bring the rest in the carry-on.
Just fucking fire them all in there, man. I've lost bags too, and I'm saying that.
I've never heard that. I've actually been. There's way more other stuff I would be upset about at airport than that. Carry on doesn't bother me.
Hey,
Ian's gone. That's it. Is he? I know what you're doing. Stop smoking weed, you junkie.
What?
No, I like it.
Water from the sink.
Oh, okay.
Not weed, it's meth.
What's going on, Ian?
Not much. You?
We're talking about the airport and how the things about the airport we hate. And Mike hates that people bring carry-ons, and I don't know if I see that.
Wait, sorry, what? You don't like people that bring carry-ons?
I don't like people that bring all their luggage in their carry-on.
Oh,
like
I'm not one of. I don't like that either.
But what's the difference? It's one bag. They're going to bring one carry-on.
Yeah, because they bring like the biggest fucking things that'll possibly fit on the goddamn plane. It fills up the whole fucking plane, and then
that's. I mean, you leave late because everyone's trying to fucking Jenga or Tetris their fucking bag into the.
And then they're like, the overhead bins are full. You're gonna have to gate check your fucking bags. I'm like, yeah. Just check a bag. You know what I mean? Like, just do it.
I mean, I bring a carry-on, but it's usually like a duffel bag or a gym bag.
Well, I always bring a carry-on that's like a backpack with my meals in, but I'm not bringing like a fucking hard suitcase that like just is making into the limits, you know?
Yeah.
They're enforcing it now big time. They're like really enforcing it, especially on Air Canada. If it doesn't fit in that ridiculously small thing, you can't bring it.
Yeah.
They're actually enforcing it now, though.
Out of all the things at airports, that's never been one that's bothered me. But I think you know why I think it's never bothered me? Because I never put anything up top. Like when I bring my gym bag or my duffel bag, whatever you want to call it, I always put it like underneath the seat in front of me. So I never have to like.
Can I ask a super racist question?
Of course. It's a racist podcast.
I
like these.
Did you ever notice that travel, as an Arab man, did travel ever change for you or your family post 9/11?
Oh, fuck yeah. Are you kidding me? I got stuck because I fly from Detroit because we're right across the border.
Yeah.
So whenever I have to go anywhere in the States, I cross the border and then fly from Detroit. I got pulled over. Hi, Paul. How are you?
Hi, Fouad. I don't know what you're going to say. I was with you on half those trips.
Yeah. I got randomly pulled in every fucking time I crossed the border.
It was so obvious.
And it just so happened that every other person in the random checkout or the random check-in they're all fucking brown also.
Yeah, it was so obvious.
It's like a whole bunch of guys with fucking turbans and shit, and then me. I'm like, okay. No, but at the actual airport, no, I traveled quite a bit. I think I got stopped once or twice in Toronto and had my bag searched. But overall, it was mainly crossing the land border where I had all the trouble.
I was flagged for like 3 years. Pearson and everywhere else.
That's what they told me. I was on some list.
Yeah, I was on there for a reason.
Are you going to tell us or not?
I don't care. I was working doing security, and like a FYI for everyone out there, if you book a last minute trip to Vegas, they're going to pull you in for questioning because they're going to think you have money on you, like more than 10,000.
Yeah,
so they pull people, right?
Yeah.
So we were going there for like a work thing, and it was booked last minute. So I didn't want to like waste my time. I wanted to bring some of my juice with me, so I put like I had like half a vial of like Test or something that was like half used, and I was gonna get pins when I got there. So I put it inside like a vitamin C bottle so it didn't smash in my bag and like leak everywhere. And then I had 2 batons and 3 knives in my in my check bag. But like that wasn't hiding them. I put them in like a shoe bag and like I had them on the top because you can check that stuff. So they pulled me in. As soon as the guy sees it, he's like, they just say, "Do you want to tell us about what's in here so we don't have to like find it? You want to tell us ahead of time?" So I'm like, "Yeah, I got 3 batons and 3 knives." Like, I didn't think he'd find the other thing, right? And then he's going, like, "Anything in here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there's a bottle of Test." Like, "Oh," he's like, "Against the fucking wall. Put your hands on the wall." Like,
are you serious?
Yeah. And everyone else who was in my group is like coming in, walking, and they don't want to look at me. They're all like,
they all look
like that guy.
I've seen some of the guys you hang out with though. They all have beards and tattoos. Like they didn't put 2 and 2 together.
They're all just like, "Oh," don't know that guy at all.
So what happened? Did they let you go with your shit, or did they take it from you?
No, the baton was a collapsible one, so it wasn't automatic. You had to like flick it and then clank it closed.
Yeah.
So they called Peel Police, and they were like, "You're in big trouble, man." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." I'm like, "It's fucking the knives are fold knives, and the baton's manual, right?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh well, blah blah." So they come and they're like, they're like, "What's the problem?" And they're like looking at my knives, and they flick out the baton. He's like, "This one's nicer than mine." He's like, "He can have all these." He's like, "What are you bothering him for?" Like, was it in his carry-on or his check bag? He's like, "Check bag." He's like, "Leave him alone." Blah 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 blah. He's like, "What about the steroids?" Like, "Oh, you're on that one." So the guy's like typing. He's like, "What's the name of this? What's the name of this one?" And I'm like telling him. He's like researching it. Like, I was in there for like 2 hours. I missed my flight and everything. So every time I flew after that, they pulled me right in. They're like, "Fuck this guy."
So are you not allowed to have? So what is it with the baton? You can't have an automatic one.
Yeah.
We're saying like switchblades, like automatic ones, you know?
Yeah, any type of automatic.
What do you mean automatic? Like you just push a button and it comes out?
Yeah, it goes flying out. Retracts.
Well, it's just as easy to flick it. What the fuck?
With switchblades, I think they're illegal if you can open them by force too. You know what I mean? Like if you can flick them open.
Oh, okay.
Then that's illegal too.
Hold it, yeah.
Yeah, but if you have to like,
there's a release on a lot of flip blades where you can like tap it and it'll flip open, but you still have to manually close it.
Okay.
So it's like if it flips open, as long as it can be opened by your hand or your thumb, or you pull it open, then it's not a switchblade.
It's an automatic one.
It's not a spring loaded. Yeah.
So Mike, let me ask you: when that happens, can't you just say, obviously you're going there for a bodyguarding event? Can't you say I'm a bodyguard, or you're not allowed to?
No, I told him, but he didn't. I forfeited the baton too. I was like, man, if it's going to be an issue, just keep the fucking thing. It's $30. You know what I mean? Like it's like you can buy it at a fucking any military store, like co-op store in fucking Toronto.
I have one. Yeah, I know. It's not like you can just order them online.
So I'm like, take it if you want it. And then he's like, no, the steroids is the big thing. I'm like, the half a vial? Half a vial.
You're in big trouble.
I don't.
I could stab 20 people, but I have half a vial of testosterone.
I know I shouldn't do this, but I have to do this. So the cop that showed up, what did he look like versus the guy at the airport?
There's two of them that showed up.
Okay.
They were just like white dudes, random dudes. The dude who stopped me was like a fat kind of Mexican looking dude.
That's why. It's the fat guys or the little guys. Always pick on the pick on the bodybuilders.
Power tripping.
Yeah. You know what it is? You know what though? You get the same. You do get courtesy though from the security guys that work out.
For sure.
Because every time I go through any type of checkpoint and there's like somebody there you could tell trains a little bit, they're like your best friend.
Yeah.
The one guy in fucking Dubai was like, "Hey, who are you? Are you a pro? Like, what's your Instagram?" He's holding the whole lineup. And he's got his phone now. He's like, "Show me your Instagram." I'm like, "Dude, there's like 800 people."
He's like, "Fuck those people, man."
He's just like, they can wait.
I've gotten it a few times flying to Vegas for the Olympia when I got to the airport and they saw I was flying to Vegas, and they were obviously bodybuilding fans enough. They're like, "Oh, going for the Olympia?" Like, blah, blah, blah. You know, they knew. We kind of started a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, some of them knew who I was. If I say my name, they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah," you know.
Yeah, nobody's ever known me. Every time I fucking cross or something, or
I know you, Fouad. I work there.
Paul's always got my back.
Yeah.
No, but they always know the show. They're like, "Oh, we cross usually to go to Columbus." They're like, "Oh, you're going to the Arnold. You're going to the Arnold."
Yeah.
But I can never say I'm competing. When I was competing, I'm fine with it now because I don't compete. But when I was competing, I would never say I was competing.
Yeah,
because make money.
Yeah, because like, oh, I did one time, and they're like, "Oh, you're going to make money." I'm like, "I'm not going to win. I'm not going to win, man." Tell
you what, if I win, I'll split it with you.
I'm like, just don't worry about it. I'm like, it's all good. Like, just let me go. I'm probably going to be like 10th or something. Just anyway. So but before you got on, Paul, we were talking about airports, and Mike hates everybody, but mostly people at airports.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And he was saying he caught me off guard because the one thing he didn't like was people that bring carry-on bags.
Oh,
is that something that you?
Paul's like, oh. Those guys.
I don't bring carry-on bag.
Paul stuffed his whole weekend into one little bag.
Yeah, well, that's my wife's doing. We went to Florida.
That's what my girlfriend does. That's why, like, it wasn't the other people doing it. It's the fact that I'm like, why are you putting all that shit in one bag? You know what I mean? Like, you're trying to fucking jam it in there.
Yeah, like size bottles of liquids intentionally so it's not over the fucking limit. Like,
yeah. And I can't pack, so I get like 2 shirts in there and a pair of underwear, and it's full.
Oh, I'm a huge overpacker, so I bring like my biggest suitcase everywhere I go.
Yeah, I've been going for a day. I'll bring my whole big suitcase for a day.
But I will say this:
5 pairs of shoes. Yeah.
I will say this though: I've had nothing but bad experiences at Pearson Airport in the last couple of years. So I try not to check bags there if I can, because
that's different though. If you know you're going to lose your bag or something,
or it's just gonna be really slow getting it.
Yeah.
I don't mind the slow. I've lost one bag and I actually claimed because I had like some expensive shoes, I had an expensive watch, and I actually claimed a lot of stuff. And Delta actually sent me a check for most of it back.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, it was like my whole fucking wardrobe. Because I do the same thing Ian does. Like I have one massive suitcase, and I just I don't want to plan. I'm going to wear this tonight, that the next night. I just fucking pack everything.
That's what I like to do.
And I'm like, I'll just wear whatever I want.
Yeah.
And I lost the whole fucking bag. Like everything was gone. I was like,
oh.
It was
like all those Rolexes you had in there.
they're not that expensive.
3 Rolexes, a laptop.
No, but
diamond ring.
It's not even about how expensive it is. But you know, like you collect.
I would just make shit up though and hope Delta paid for it.
Yeah,
yeah. I tried that with house insurance things once. Didn't go so well.
Paul.
I love when Paul wants to out himself. He lowers his voice.
It didn't go well anyway. I got nothing out of it.
No one heard that, right? No one heard that.
They didn't believe anything. They're like, that leather jacket looks like it's 100 years old.
Anyway, so you don't care about people bringing on carry-on bags. If it's like not just like their magazine, their laptop, like if they're bringing like their entire fucking clothing and everything in a carry-on,
like a roller bag.
Yeah,
I mean they're thumping everybody's knee as they go down the aisle.
Yeah.
Does that bother you? You don't give
I think the rules are a little bit too lax in that department. Like you should have to check something that's got a roller on it.
So I'm the only one then. I'm the only one who just doesn't. I just don't give a shit.
As long as it doesn't get my way, I guess. But a lot of times you can't even get storage in the overhead because.
This is what I said, yeah.
Because I would say like my number one pet peeve is when everybody fucking lines up to get on the plane, like 20 minutes before.
You have a fucking reserve seat. Why are you lining up for?
Yeah, first
like,
class. This guy.
It's like no, but even if it's not first class, you still
like everyone has their own seat, right?
It's like 20 minutes before the plane takes off. Everybody like lines up. Like I got to.
Have you ever had the pandemonium of a Southwest flight?
No.
You never done Southwest? Where you line up in boarding groups and you just like wing it.
What do you mean?
You're like boarding group A and you line up. Like you have a number.
Yeah.
You're in a lineup, but like you're like boarding group B, number 34. So you're lining up in your group of your row, and you have to like just hustle on the plane and find a seat.
Oh, they organize you before you get on the plane?
Yeah, like they just run. You just get on in your numbers, and it's free for all, whatever seat you can get.
Oh, wow. That's not bad though.
First class Southwest is getting like boarding group A, low number. You get the pick of the plane, man. You get whatever you want.
That's not bad if you don't force your way on.
Like a lottery system.
Yeah. Or the other pet peeve is people who get up like when the plane just lands and it's like they haven't opened the door. There's people from like the back of the plane getting up,
like right over the go,
trying to like run by everybody.
Yeah, they're on the brink of an anxiety attack. That's why
I had to fucking check this old man on the last flight I went on. It's like this like old man. He's like 60. He's bald. He's like 5'3". And he's like a little bit heavier. And he like the plane just lands. As soon as the beep go like beep, everybody stands up, right? He fucking gets up and he's like, and I kind of like lean into the aisle a little bit just to like save my spot. He's fucking bumping into me. He's like trying to get. I'm like, I turn around. I'm like, hey. I'm like, I go. None of us are going anywhere, man. Just take it easy. He's like, oh, sorry.
The guy fucking shit his pants. Yeah.
No, but like, I just don't understand. It's like,
I know that's a good one.
Look, I'll put it this way: even if you want to stand up, everybody knows there's a system. This person goes, that person goes, then this person goes. There's a system, right?
Like a zipper.
Yeah, like a zipper. And this guy's trying to like blow by everybody. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man.
You know what I hate about a plane? You get like it happened my last flight. I was getting so upset about it. I always get an aisle seat, right? Because I like to lean into it a little bit. And there's always a guy who will stand next to me and talk to someone in the aisle next to me with his ass in my face for an hour. I get so upset by
like walkers and standers. Yeah.
Don't you know you got your ass in my face this whole time?
It's worse when they're trying to get something in the overhead compartment above you. Their dick is in your face.
You gotta give him a quick oil change.
This is purely based off impatience. I don't like when you're going through security and it's like, when you have to like take your shoes off, take your laptop out, and people are completely unprepared. They show up.
They've never been there before.
It's like you could have had your laptop out of the bag and your shoes off and ready to go, but you're like putting your bag, unzipping a suitcase, searching for 100 things, trying to find your liquids, trying to find your laptop. It's like, bro, you knew you were coming here. Like, be
Yeah.
ready.
People
You're
people
that
in the
guy.
winter. People in
ready.
the winter who wear their winter coat in the fucking airport
Yeah.
and like take it off. They get like undressed at the fucking thing. It's like, you do not know you're going to be indoors for the next fucking
Yeah, like,
7 hours.
Yeah.
prepared, you know?
I knew Ian was going to be that guy. I hate those. I hate those guys. 'Cause I'm
So
like,
annoying.
no, because I'm like, look, dude, there's a bunch of people in the fucking security thing. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm prepared or not. Like, I have to wait.
No, if you're at the front, you're next to go. If you're slowing it down, then you're actually slowing
No.
it.
Well, okay, there's two scenarios. If I know there's nobody in front of me, I'm ready. But if there's a whole bunch of fucking people in line, I'm not rushing to get my shit out.
But if you're getting up, well, yeah, okay, sure. Like if there's
How
somebody,
many
then
people
I'm
away?
just
How
waiting.
many people away are you from when you start getting ready? How many
Like-
people away from the
like if
conveyor
I
belt
get
are you?
like if I get
Couple
to
for
the
me.
if I get to the table,
Yeah.
and then the security gate is like there, and there's 4 people waiting to go through it, I'm not
Okay,
rushing
sure.
to take my
I'm
stuff.
not going to rush that. But
Yeah.
if there's people behind you and you're first up,
Yeah, yeah.
or
Then
like
I'm
even, if
ready.
there's only,
Yeah,
even if there's only say one person ahead of you, you know,
Yeah.
where other people can filter in behind you, I try and be as ready as possible.
100%. But
yeah, it's considerate.
I also told an old Asian lady off one time because of that. She was pushing.
I thought I had the problems at the airport. You're telling everybody else. I gotta tell you a story after.
No,
You go ahead, though.
I put my two baskets out, and I took my laptop out, put it in one, and I put my bag in the other. Oh, and I had a third one for my shoes. And I'm just like, there's people in line. And I'm not like, I can't go. So I'm kind of taking my time, but I'm not like holding anybody up. And she's pushing my thing, like my basket with her basket.
Yeah.
And I'm
Oh
like,
wow.
so I turn around, I'm like, hey, can you fucking take it easy? I didn't swear at her, but I was like, hey, can you take it easy? Like, I'm like, I can't go anywhere. Like, just, she's like, oh, okay. But she like looked angry that I was mad at her. And I'm like, why are you like pushing my shit? Like, this is the same thing that happened. Costco's the same.
Yeah.
The only time I see old people being rude is at Costco or the airport.
At Costco. Interesting.
Yeah.
Short fuses.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, Mike. What were you gonna say?
No, another pet peeve is like, because you guys will get it because you're bigger. Is like if you're in a regular seat and the person in front of you reclines,
Yes.
and you like literally have like you can't even get up.
Yeah.
And one time I was booked on a flight from LA to New York, and I got the fucking shit out of the stick because of the last minute flight, and I was in the very back row, so I can't recline. And the fucking guy in front of me just fucking back, and I'm like,
and you're not short too.
You
You're
could like
tall.
braid his hair.
I slept like fucking 2 hours, and I just literally took this. I see like, and I pushed him back up, and I'm like, and he's like, well, I'm like, bro, I'm like, you can't, man. I'm like, I can't go back. You can't go back. I'm like, he's like, I'll pay for this seat. You try to go back again, I fucking pushed him back. And we're like in the middle of taking off. He's like, I'm gonna call. It's just my caller. I don't give a fuck. And he's like, she comes over. She's like, I know, blah blah blah. I'm like, he puts that seat back again. I'm gonna fucking launch him into first class. So he did one of these where he's just like
A little
like
bit.
that much.
He's like, I still won. I got it back
He
a
won
couple
the
inches.
battle.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
I don't know.
Fly in the first time.
I'm always considerate on a plane. Like if I have to fart, I hold it.
Yeah, I try to.
Oh,
Be.
yeah,
No,
you gotta bury that in the seat.
I've tried, but
Blame
if
it
it's
on someone else.
no,
It comes out.
if it's really bad, I try not to
You
fart at
bury
all.
that, man. Just
Yeah,
position
you
the
know-
air,
you
position
know
the
what
air
fucking-
thing right above you, and just let it go, man.
I can't.
No telling where it came from.
No, because I know. Listen, on a flight, I can't remember what flight I was taking home, but the guy in front, I know it was the guy in front of me. It was this old dude, and he was shitting himself the whole fucking flight home.
Oh, that's horrible.
I can't. So I'm like, if that's making me throw up, I can't do that
Yeah.
to somebody else.
Yeah, I got a weak stomach. I
At least on a
can't.
plane, you do have anonymity, but it's still very gross. Like even if they
Yeah.
don't know who's doing it, it's still gross. Yeah.
I
But you
that
know
crop-
that.
I like the crop dust as I go down the aisle.
He's that guy. Yeah.
It's
Everyone
like,
just
like leaving a trail of popcorn.
you guys shit on planes? Have you ever shit
I
on a plane? Or you
I
hold
try like hell not to.
once.
I haven't in a long time. I don't know that I have. Yeah.
I think I may have once.
I think I was competing at the time. I was coming back from one of my SciTech trips, and my stomach would not. You know when your stomach's like bubbling over and you're just bloated as fuck.
You're gonna short at that point if you don't.
I'm like, this is, and it was like a 7-hour flight, and this was like the first hour. I'm like, I am not gonna make this whole flight without like the worst stomach cramps ever.
Yeah.
So I
You
went
have
and
to-
like I went and
Do you
took
have to
like
Buffalo Billet?
What's that?
what's
Buffalo
that?
Billet.
What is
To
that?
take a shit.
What is it?
What is it?
'Cause you know the stalls are small, right?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can't sit down. So if you sit down, your nuts will just like
You gotta like tuck.
so you gotta tuck first and then sit like
Yeah.
that, like Buffalo Bill.
How do you?
Sounds like-
Okay, wait a minute. Wait
What? Wait.
a minute.
Yeah, I'm not getting it.
Yeah, you tuck your nuts anyway. What do you do when you shit? You put your
Yeah.
dick
Because if you yeah, but the thing is, usually you do it when you sit down, right? If you have to
But
sit
it's so
down,
tight that you
Yeah.
have to do it
You have
before.
to do it before.
Oh, so
My legs
are
aren't that big.
possible.
So you're saying while you're standing, you tuck it in and
Yeah,
then
you gotta
sit
like
down.
get in the crouch position and like tuck it and then like drop
Nah.
real quick because you're
I've
gonna
never-
smash your legs
Get
together.
down there and tuck it under.
I've never done that. I
So
sit
that you're
down.
choking it off too.
I sit
Yeah.
down. I lean over a bit and make room for it and just push it. Push it
Sometimes
through.
there's not enough room, man. They're like tight.
Yeah, but then it's like
Legs are,
then you're like
together.
nuts and dick are like sitting on the seat before that, you know?
No, no.
in a plane toilet, you probably would be fluid.
Look, man, I shit on a plane like this was 2014. I don't fucking remember how I put my dick.
I shit on a plane as often as I can.
All I
I
know,
do it every time.
just to
I
ruin
hope
everyone
the
else's
thumbnail
experience.
for this. I hope the thumbnail for this is Buffalo Bill standing. Oh my god, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if I've got shit on a plane any time that I can remember.
you know what's worse about it? There's no water. There's no
What do you mean?
water.
Oh,
Like,
it's just
there's
it
no-
Yeah,
just,
that's
it
just
just,
shitting
there's
in
no-
the dry.
just goes.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
I'm
shitting
like-
in the fucking yeah.
Yeah, and then I know when I flush it, it's gonna leave a streak, and I'm like, and I don't want to come out and have somebody standing there waiting to go in. I'm like, I can't do it.
Well, and wiping in there is very difficult.
Yeah,
You
how
know,
the
you know,
fuck?
there's not much room.
You gotta wipe from the front.
You
Yeah,
gotta stand
you know,
up
with that.
you
Oh,
know,
that's
you
horrible.
got some like garbage one-ply toilet paper too, you know?
Yeah, you gotta like
Yeah.
mummify your hand.
Yeah, it's like that
You-
fucking shit.
and it's that It's that tissue that they give you there. Yeah, it's garbage.
You got crazy flushing power though on those planes.
It just sucks it.
they're
Just pop.
vacuums, right? Like, yeah.
It's like space age stuff.
I wish I had that in my house.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. There'd be no toilet plumes.
There's no time.
No.
You guys are fucked up. Well, now's a good time to announce our live podcast
Yes.
with guests to be announced. But those of you living in Canada who are in the GTA or in Ontario who are coming to me and Paul's show on May 13th in Oakville, after prejudging, we're going to have a live podcast. It's the first one in Canada, so hopefully all you guys will come that are in the area, and we'll have some fun. We're going to do like a live Q&A and some transgender talk, some gay talk, some shit talk.
Yeah, we invite all transgenders to show up.
We invite
Open
We're
for
all-
discussion.
They're all going to come watch me guest pose anyways. That's my
Yeah.
fan base.
We're right
Stick
in the hub
around
of it too.
we're all inclusive, but if you get offended, it's not our fault.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we make fun of everybody, so it's just part of what we do.
Are you gonna open up the questions, Fouad, from the audience?
Yeah, we'll do a live Q&A. We'll talk some shit for a little while, and we'll do a live Q&A, or the whole thing will be a Q&A. I don't know. We'll have fun. We'll do something. But yeah, it'll be right after prejudging. We don't know how we're going to set up tickets yet. You might buy a prejudging ticket, and if you buy a podcast ticket, you might get like a red band or something that says you can stay in the audience.
Yeah.
We'll figure out how we're going to work it, but tickets will go on sale on Fouad Abiad Championships probably this week or next week, and you guys can buy tickets and get in. And Ian's guest posing,
Yes.
and Melissa will be there. So for all the girls who want to ask Melissa fashion or workout questions or how she deals with Ian talking about gay shit all the time, she'll be there.
What's the problem?
How did she deal with having a homosexual husband?
What'd you say?
I said, how did she deal with having a homosexual husband?
Well, bisexual, not homosexual.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
It's like the guy that makes those like captions. It's like Ian talks about how he's gay and how those guys are doing.
That guy's
Nice
the best. Okay, one more thing, one more plug, but only because I like to help friends out where I can, and I tried this and I like it. So Chris Tuttle started I want to actually see what he wanted me to give you guys some information, and I want to do it for Chris because he's a good friend and he's a good person. So this is only available at the US for now. The website is drinkmor.com. This is like, if you guys use like Crystal Light or Mio or any of that shit, sugar-free Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
So Chris has started his own company called MOR, More, and it stands for More Hydration, because he's basically created a drink syrup, but it's caffeine free, but it's also like electrolyte. It's got an electrolyte blend in it. So it's not like you're just putting flavor, you're actually getting the electrolytes out of it as well. It's actually really good.
It's like Mio?
It's like Mio. So far they have 2 flavors. This one's sweet tea. I tried the lemonade.
What's the electrolyte count in it?
Let me see if it says on here. Serving size.
I'm tired of using those fucking nun tablets. What the fuck are those things called? You seen those?
Sodium 30 milligrams. It doesn't have like a full break. Wait, calcium 1 milligram, potassium 45 milligrams, magnesium 10 milligrams.
And what's the serving size?
Serving size is 2 mils. It says 2 mils, 1 squeeze.
Yeah.
So it says it's about 30 servings. So anyway, listen, I don't know about you guys. I don't really drink water by itself. I know, Ian, you probably don't care, but I drink a lot of sugar-free Kool-Aid and shit. And so Chris let me try this. It was really good. So I figured, why not get electrolytes out of it as well?
Yeah, I saw you was doing that on Instagram. Looks cool.
So anyways, if you guys want to check it out, it's drinkmore.com, and more is MOR, drinkmore.com. Check it out. Support all the boys. All these guys are starting their own businesses. So it's good to for all of us to kind of chip in and help each other out. Anyway, just wanted to get that out. Okay, what else is going on? Ian, how many weeks now? 9, 8, 10?
Was I 9 this past weekend? Yeah, I guess I would have been 9 on Sunday, so I'd be just shy.
9 in Toronto?
Yeah, Toronto, it's on a Sunday, so yeah, just under.
It's on a Sunday.
It's on a Sunday?
Yeah, the amateur show's on the Saturday, and the pro show, I think, is on the Sunday.
Where is it?
Oh,
At the Delta.
Oh, okay.
That feels weird. Why feels weird? Why wouldn't they do it the reverse?
Why do they do it at Delta all the time, not convention center like they used to?
He wants to put it back there next year.
I think
Such a nice.
I know.
I think
nicer venue.
That's one of the best show venues there is, man. I love that. The Expo, such a nostalgia there.
Availability probably plays into it, but also, listen, promoters are it's a business at the end of the day, and that convention center downtown Toronto has to cost a fucking fortune.
Ooh, yeah,
for sure.
So
especially like first week of fucking June, like.
Yeah,
I would never, as somebody who, like, before I ever promoted a show, I would be like, oh, why don't they do this? And I would be like mad, like it should be in a nicer place. But after promoting shows, I've realized these fucking venues cost a lot of money, and that place downtown Toronto. And you got to think, so now you're paying for the most expensive venue you could possibly find in Ontario.
Canada, probably.
And yeah, then you also have to pay for all the prize money for all the different classes. Plus you have to pay the sanctioning fee to the IFBB. Like, the list of costs just grows and grows and grows and grows. So it would be really nice to be able to have it there every year, and hopefully Ron goes back, but I don't blame him for not.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah, I think he moved it because of COVID, and I think he's hoping that the numbers will be back to pre-COVID numbers now.
Yeah, I mean, especially for that reason too. I mean, during COVID, like we held our show 2 years ago during COVID, and like, what was our audience? Like nothing. Like,
we were only allowed like 60 people in the audience.
Yeah, you should have seen our auditorium. So, Mike, we weren't allowed to use the actual theater. We had to use the hall that was in this place, and we had to have all the chairs 6 feet apart. Like, you could have
ridiculous.
You could have like if a group came in together, you could have the grouping of chairs together.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
So it'd be like two or three chairs, and then it'd be 6 feet between the next set of chairs.
Yeah.
You can't get COVID from friends.
As long as you know the person, you can't get it. Yeah.
Strangers are the problem.
Yeah.
So it was ridiculous. But we held the show, and people came, like people got to compete and all that shit. So, but that's a good point too. I never thought of that. Like, holding that fucking show at the convention center during COVID, you'd lose your shirt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, I hope it gets back there eventually. So 9 weeks, you said. Is there a point, like, I know you're pretty militant in your approach. Is there ever a period where you're like, I'm feeling it now, or you don't get there?
Yeah, I mean, feeling it in what sense? You know what I mean? Like,
well, like for me, like if I'm dieting, when I get to like 4 weeks, it's almost like stages. Like I would hit
like tired or hunger or like what, or you just mean as a whole?
Like
just as a whole, you're like, no, not locked in. Locked in, I would feel like from the beginning. But I mean, like, there's a point at 8 weeks, then at 4 weeks, where I would be like, I'm feeling this. I'm a little tired. I'm a little bit hungry. I'm a little bit like,
I mean,
whatever.
all shows are different. I mean, like, definitely if I do a season that's long, by the end, you'll definitely be feeling like the last, like, 4 to 6 weeks before that last show, it's like, you just feel rough, like a little, like just getting, in and out of your car, getting off the couch, like things just feel so much more exhausting. Your training still feels good and your cardio still feels good, but doing anything other than that feels very exhausting. And I've had points where I'm like super hungry really close to shows, especially if I've been dieting a long time for multiple shows. But I've also sometimes have shows where I don't feel any of that. So,
that scares me when that happens. I've had that too. And I'm like, something wrong? Cause I'm not I'm not dying.
Yeah.
Like I look good and I feel good about the way I look.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I'm suffering enough.
I have had that feeling. But I've also had some of my best looks not feeling bad like that, and some of my worst looks feeling really fucked up. So to me, it's like, does it really mean much in terms of what it renders? Not necessarily. But definitely the first few times where I like didn't feel like fucking shit going to the show, I'm like, I'm not doing something. I need to be doing more. Like I should feel worse. I should be hungrier,
Actually, I think now that you say that, my two best looks, one was with Hani and one was with John. Both shows, I didn't feel as bad as I felt during other preps where I didn't look as good.
Yeah, those were different preps for you.
Yeah.
They weren't like they weren't as extreme.
Well, because I remember,
right.
it is. That's all right. Because I remember working with Chad. Like Chad would pull calories like, hard.
Yeah,
and I would be fucking dead in those preps. And I did get more shredded, but it didn't translate to my best look because I almost like lost too much muscle, or I don't know, maybe it was too stringy. I don't know how you want to word it.
It's just a different result.
Yeah.
This won't be a very hard prep for me from a body fat loss standpoint because I didn't get that heavy. Like I didn't really get much over 285 this offseason. We tried to keep it so I was like in a good spot and in striking range and feeling good. Like things were still operating well. Like I'm not big sluggish off season. And because the turnaround was so short to Toronto, like there wasn't like an off season time there. So I mean, I'm really only pulling 20 to 25 pounds at absolute most over like 16, 20 weeks. So, you're talking less than a pound a week. So like, it doesn't need to be anything aggressive in terms of calories pulled. And it's not like I'm someone that has a ton of trouble getting lean anyway. So I suspect if I'm going to feel anything, it's not going to be really pretty close to the end.
You're saying 25 pounds total.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, fucking 10 pounds of that's water and glycogen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like now I'm down to like just shy of 280. So I'm like 6 of that down. Or 7 of that down, so.
Well, I just mean, I guess I'm trying to kind of explain to the people at home, like they might be like, well, fucking 25 pounds, it's a lot of weight, but it's technically not in bodybuilding.
Well, it's also like when you're thinking of percentage of body mass, like when you're talking about 285 pounds plus, minus that versus, if you're 135 pounds, you gain 25 pounds. That's double the percentage of me gaining it,
Well, plus it's also, I think also something that average person that's not a competitor maybe doesn't understand is, when you weigh 250 to 260 pounds of lean body mass, 25 pounds is not hard to get off. Like your body is like
I could get that off quick. I could get that off in 4 weeks easily.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
No problem. I could go from 285 to 265 in 4 weeks if I pushed it easily, for sure.
And if somebody says, well, why wouldn't you do that? It's because he's trying to spare as much muscle as possible. So they dry up.
Yeah. And by sparing muscle, I think it's important to say not just from a caloric standpoint, muscle wasting, it's the deterioration of training that would come from that.
Yeah.
So like if you just fucking plummet calories, well, what's going to happen to your training? It's going to suffer. And then what's going to suffer if your training goes to shit? Your muscularity. So I think it's a byproduct, but they both do have, but I think you could diet on low calories and still not lose muscle. But I think if you really start to have a big impact in your training, that's where the loss starts to come.
But this is a great discussion to have even for the average person, because I'll tell you the number one mistake I see the average guy who weighs like, 200 pounds or whatever, who wants to get shredded. The number one mistake I've always seen is they cut all their calories right away. And they're like, they'll chop their calories in half and they'll be like, I'm losing weight. I'm like, yeah, but you're probably losing muscle too, because you're trying to go too fast.
Yeah. Going down the shitter.
So, and like you said, your training then sucks. Your strength is down. Like, so yeah.
I mean, there's no better indicator than at least maintenance of strength into a bodybuilding show. It's one of the best indicators of obviously no muscle loss. Like, to have some as body weight comes down and foods come down is natural if there's a gradual slow progression as there is with the other factors, especially in pressing strength. But if you're like doing huge drops in calories and huge drops in progression in training or strength, I mean, that's definitely going to impact the amount of muscle you're going to hold.
But would you say, so this is kind of along the same lines, but I always, because I experienced this, would you say that training strength versus training stamina is two different things.
Yes.
Because I've been like in preps with like Chad, for example, where he's cut all my fucking carbs and very low fat. And I'm like, I can still press 315, but instead of doing it 12 times, I'm doing it 4.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just asking if that happened to you.
In that, I would consider that a pretty dramatic loss of strength. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like with Chad, I got extremely shredded, but also we went to extremes to get there.
Yes.
So I don't know if it was the right way to do it. And the thing with Hani and working with John, I had a lot less strength decline.
Yeah.
And
I think it also has to do with how you built the muscle you have,
Yeah.
I think if you're someone that, like, I'm not going to like put people in the spotlight here, but if you're someone that's just not necessarily known for your training prowess or intensity or effort, but you still have a world-class physique, I think if your training suffers, there's less variance there or less drop-off, and you're not quite bending the ends too much, that I think there'd be less loss. But I think for someone like you or me, where our physiques were really built on hard training, a lot of that is the brunt of what built our physiques. Or someone like James, I think if you have a dramatic loss in one of your main factors of progression, and you lower that, I think that's going to do a lot for your physique,
I remember thinking at the time, later on in my career, when I learned a little bit more from John, me and John used to do, remember I told you we used to do like pump days, or not pump days, but like 80% days.
Yeah.
On those days, he would still have me lift heavy, but instead of going to failure, he would say stop short, like stop at like 4 to 6 reps or something, but still go heavy. So I remember a period of time during my prep where my stamina wasn't as good, but I was like, I have to keep going heavy because that will maintain the roundness to my physique.
Yeah.
Is there truth to that?
I don't know if there's truth to there's maintaining roundness per se. That's a very bro sciencey. But like I still stand by. I think that using training performance as a gauge towards muscle loss is a very good indicator. Yes.
Mike, what do you think?
I think that roundness and that fullness maybe comes from like this type of drug you're on as well, and like how much glycogen you're actually retaining, and how much you're filling that muscle up, and how much you're able to retain, and what you're actually eating. Like how many carbs are you actually eating? What are you retaining from that? What are you not burning off through exercise and work?
Let me ask you a more direct question. So let's say I'm used to squatting 4 plates on the Smith machine for 10 reps.
Yep.
And as I get deeper into my prep, like 3-4 weeks out, whatever, I could probably knock out 8, but I'm stopping at like 4, and I'm only doing the 405 just because I think my muscle's going to look different if I don't do it. Does that make sense to either one of you?
Yeah.
There was a time and place when I probably thought that was true, but I don't think it's true.
Yeah, I would agree with you with that. I think there's 2 factors here too, because I think a lowering of volume, especially if it's like 3 to 4 weeks out, that, like you said, so if you're not pushing the sets all the way, I think that can be beneficial. I think too many guys go, or even think sometimes ramping volumes into show is beneficial, where it's actually the opposite. So I think if something you were doing for 10 reps, you're still doing the load, but you're lowering the workload in terms of volume.
Yeah,
I can see that would be beneficial for muscle retention, which could be roundness, fullness, whatever, because you're not burning so much glycogen and everything in that training.
But I think in that same,
just going back to what Mike said,
So maybe
in that same breath, it's like you have to look at like how you trained all year, or how you train in general.
Yeah. And
not necessarily look at like, oh, my strength's getting down, so I'm getting worse. It's just like, am I still training with the same intensity that I train with? But I'm being aware of the fact that like I am facing variables of more output and work, less calories.
Yeah.
So I'm not squatting the 405 for 10, but I'm still moving that weight, or maybe I'm doing drops off of that, or I'm still pounding out quality work and getting that work done. I'm just not.
I'm more referring to like dramatic drops in strength.
Okay, so wait a minute.
Yeah,
we're kind of saying the same thing. I'm just using different terminology.
We're all saying the same thing.
I said roundness. You guys are saying muscle retention. So we're still
But I think what you said could be beneficial, like the way John would have you do these pump workouts, right, where you were closer. I think that might have been an effort on his part to like, yes, we're still eating a good amount of calorie. I don't want to burn through that fire I'm starting. I want to let some of that sit
But hold on, but I agree. But hold on for one second.
That's what I'm saying with reducing volume.
Yeah, I agree with that. But just for clarity's purpose, John used to have me do those all year because John believed in more frequency, not less. Like, if you listen to Dorian Yates is like MO has always been 4 days a week in the off season is all you need if you're training properly, blah blah blah. John was the opposite. John was like, if you can hit every muscle twice a week, that's great, but I want you to do like 4 heavy days and 2 like pump days, for lack of a better word, and that will keep you fresh. That's kind of
frequency seems to be what more people are doing now. That really seems to be the norm. People trying to hit things twice a week, or at least weaker parts twice a week. The frequency thing, I think, is really taken over more than the lower, like 4 days a week kind of thing.
I think it's also forced people, the frequency thing, it's forced them to like get out of that mold of thinking where you have to like go balls to the wall all the time, because you're leaving something in the tank because you have another chest day or another back day. I know I'm building here. I'm not just like pulverizing shit and then hoping to like rise up.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, that was John, and I've told Paul this like a million times. I probably said it on the podcast, is he said, never dig a hole you can't get out of. So he would say, do like, if you do Monday, Tuesday, and they're fucking crazy heavy days, make Wednesday like an 80% day. That way you're fresh for Thursday, Friday. And like that,
even more pertinent in a prep setting, like we were just talking about. When other factors are reduced, when you have more output from cardio and less input from food, and now if you have this kind of crazy input or output, I guess, of training, it's going to be very hard to manage that. So you need to have it push up. It's a push and pull, right? Like,
so when me and John, the first year we worked together, it was amazing for my physique. If you ask Paul, I excelled dramatically that first year.
Who were you working with when you won Orlando?
John.
Okay. Yeah.
But so what do you think starting out, had you trained John's style from the very beginning as opposed to the way you did?
Yeah, because John said it best. I was my own worst enemy. I always thought that more was better.
Yeah.
So John would try and do this 6-day-a-week thing. And for the first year, I stuck to it religiously. And I built a lot of muscle. My physique changed. It got really fresh. And then I went back to my style, which was 6 days, but fucking 100% every fucking day instead of backing off some days. And my physique didn't excel after that. And I started to tear shit. Yeah,
that's when the injuries started happening more.
So then John was like, okay, stop going 6 days a week. Just go 5 and take those 2 days all the way off.
But
he's like, because he said he didn't trust me to go to the gym and not do too much.
Yeah, but at that point in your career, that was the smartest move to make. But do you think early on, though, when you were fresh and no injuries and that, you think that would have been a better approach from the very beginning?
I think if John was my coach from day one, I would have been a much better bodybuilder.
Yeah, and probably more.
There could have been more longevity to your
because I would have been more longevity. I wouldn't have developed so many bad habits, and I would have learned the proper way from the beginning instead of just thinking more is better and just fucking hammering away. Because like even with Chad, like Chad was a great coach, but Chad's philosophy was take everything to the extreme, and what will stick will stick. So like in the off season, if you talk about food, John would say, let's bulk like fucking crazy, and whatever muscle is left over, then you'll be that much bigger. Or when we diet, same thing. He'd be like, let's strip down to fucking calories and get you shredded, and whatever's left is left. And it's like, or even vitamins. I remember he's taking so many fucking vitamins. I'm like, am I pissing half this shit away? And Chad would be like, just take it all, and then whatever's left is like whatever your body absorbs is good. And I'm like,
that's right.
I don't want to go drinking with that
guy. So whatever. But I mean, look, I can't fault him because I actually had a lot of success with Chad. Like I turned pro with Chad. I qualified for Olympia with Chad. Like some of my most shredded looks were with Chad. So I thought that he must be right. So I adopted a lot of those principles. And
you worked with a lot of like the big wigs, eh?
Chad, Hani, Aceto, John. And I'll say, and this is why I tell people that Dennis.
I worked with Dennis.
This is why I tell people coaching is so individual, because if you asked anybody who was the best coach out of those guys, they would probably say Hani because he got all the Olympias. But for me personally, it was John, because John knew how to get me mentally set up, right? Yeah. So I don't think there's obviously objectively a best coach, but I think for each individual person.
Well, and I think coaching goes beyond, getting the most out of an athlete goes beyond just knowledge.
For sure.
There's also getting the best out of the athlete, like from a mental standpoint, all these things, like, and knowing them and what makes them tick and how they operate and to get the most out of them, and I think a lot of things obviously can be managed from being smart, but I think you also need to know and be mindful of the person, and I think you and John had a personal connection, a personal relationship like that he could know you a bit better and have a better understanding of kind of how to make you and who you are as a person tick and succeed,
how to get the best out of you.
When you're when you're around somebody and they're calm, it makes you calm.
For sure.
That
like
was
with your parents when you're a kid, like shit's going awry and they're like, your dad's like stone cold,
That's what John had. No matter how flustered I got, John was like, it's okay, don't worry about it. Just gonna.
No, but I mean, it's the same thing. Like some, just like talking about some athletes need to be told, they send a pair of progress pictures. They want to be told, you look like fucking shit, fucking pussy, stick your game. And some people want to be told, man, you look awesome. This is great. Good. Keep going. Some people want in the middle. Like there's so many things that make people excel or not,
Right.
But the funny thing about that too is that mentality can also change as you change, because
as you get older.
When I worked with Hani, I needed him to tell me I was shit. He would call me in the off season and be like, "You're eating too much. You're getting fat." And I'd be like, "Oh,
well, that's him. He does that to Chris."
or he would call me and be like, "Phil said you look like shit." I'd be like, "Oh." I'd be like,
the more you know Hani, the more true and funny those things are.
I know, right? So
I've hung out with him for like 1 week at the Olympia, and what you're saying, like, this is literally just Hani.
It's all,
Literally like that. He would say these like one-liners of like, "You look like shit," or like we'd be at the bar to Melissa, and we'd be talking, and he'd be like, "You have no fucking rear delts," Drinking, and he's like, "Where the fuck your rear delts?"
Yeah. So, but I needed that then, and then when I worked with John was more like, I don't know how to put more.
John's stoic.
Yeah, stoic. That's actually a perfect way to put it. He was very stoic.
Yeah.
So he could keep me like level without fucking me going ape shit in my head.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what have you noticed different so far? Any differences you can report with Matt?
In terms of what? Coaching?
I know you've worked with him before, so it's probably not all surprise or anything, but like any drastic changes or significant changes you can mention between this prep and last prep?
It's hard to say, man. I mean, they're different people, obviously I notice when I work with them, they're different people, they talk to me differently. We interact differently. The relationship is different. And they're both great coaches. Obviously me and Matt, we're still 9 weeks out. Like, we have a game plan, and it's, the game plan, but I don't think it's like wildly different than I would have done with anybody else at this point.
Yeah.
I think Matt understands very well what I need to continue to succeed, from like hearing from a mental standpoint, from the things I need to work on in terms of my posing, to the style of physique that we want to bring. I think that's just really where we're, I think we're two people that are just very on the same page of the vision of the direction we see my physique and what needs to be done for me to break through the barriers that have held me back in terms of certain aspects of my career,
So I have a specific question about Matt that I keep hearing over and over again, and I don't know if it would apply to you because you're kind of a vet.
Sure.
I've heard Matt is very like, how can I put it? Kind of like Phil Jackson from the Chicago Bulls, or from when he played with the Lakers, when he was coaching the Lakers, and he's very like
Zen.
Very zen, and very gets his athletes into that same kind of mindset, very confidence building, very custom auto.
Yeah, but this goes back to, I know that for an absolute fact, like, look, Matt, I know, and he said to me himself when we started working together, that he is making a point of being absolutely honesty over everything in terms of his athletes, whether I don't think people don't want to hear it or not. But in that same breath, I know how he approaches a conversation with me and a conversation with Nick or a conversation with Brett are all different, because he knows we are three different people. Of course. He knows that how I'm going to maybe to react to something he says versus Nick, even if he's saying the same words and same honest opinion, the ways he might phrase things to kind of keep us locked in might all be different. No, I mean, I think that's something that Matt really, really wants to excel at as a coach, is not just the coaching aspect, but, like you said, he looks up to a lot of his people that he really looks up to in coaching aren't bodybuilding coaches. They're college football coaches, NFL coaches, in different sports like that. And I think a lot of that, what he sees in them is their ability to bring the most out of an athlete from a mental standpoint, That's something he really tries to work on to understand that there is differences in all these guys and how to make them tick,
That's one thing I admire about certain coaches. I'm not going to name everybody, but like when I think of Hani, I think of Matt, I think of John. There's some specific coaches that I can recall, not just that I've worked with, that I've heard of other people working with that are very like involved on the mental side, not just like, here's a diet, here's your stack, here's your fucking.
And I want to clarify here, this is not saying that Patrick wasn't by any means.
No, I'm not saying that. Yeah.
Patrick was very attentive to my life. Like he really wanted to know how I was doing and everything, you know, like that, and checked on me more than anyone ever, you know, like he would be texting me 100 times a day. He was very, but there is a difference in terms of what they put their emphasis on a lot in their coaching, you know?
Yeah, I guess that's two different things though. I'm not talking about just being attentive.
No, I know. I'm saying.
Yeah. Hani, for example, I never worked with Matt, so I can't speak on Matt, but like Hani, for example, like we just talked about, knew exactly what to fucking say to me to turn that switch.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, I think there's a skill in that not everybody has.
It's probably an aspect that a lot overlook.
Well, and you have to think about that too, because like, especially like, you know, if someone looking up to, like you said, like, Phil Jackson basketball or someone in football or something like that, you're working with a team of 30, 40, whatever players. They're all completely different people, you know? Mm-hmm. If you want to get the most out of 30 different guys, you can't necessarily treat them all the same. You treat them as a unit the same. They are a team and you treat the team the same. But when you're dealing with individuals, they're different people and they need different things to get the most out of them, you know?
Yeah.
It's funny that you guys talk about like individual coaches talking to that, because like my background is football. So like I was playing college football and I've had like many personalities throw many remotes at my head for playing shitty. But it's like, so I've had like a guy, I love him to death. He never watched this, but his name's Coach Sarvis. He's a fucking madman. But he had a stutter, which is like whatever, he had a stutter. But it's like when he yelled, he didn't have a stutter anymore. So he fucking yelled. So that motherfucker yelled all the time. Like there was never a calm moment with this guy. It's like I played a bunch of years with him, and like I was, and our coaches, we sucked. So we were told we were awful every fucking day. So it's like if you didn't have self motivation, like you weren't going to go very far. But you know what I mean, so when I walked away from football, I was so used to like this barrage. Like you're not getting it from one guy. You're getting it from the head coach, your position coach, the fucking guys around you, the fucking offensive linemen are coming telling you your shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I got into bodybuilding, I'm like, I was like, nothing anyone says to me could ever fucking bother me. Yeah. It's like, one, I only have to answer to me. Fuck you. Like, I mean, so when I find these guys, it's funny that you guys are talking about, because I noticed in my own head, like being around different guys at the gym since I've been back working with guys, you see that there's like this overwhelming need for people to, and I understand it because they want guidance and they want to do the best they can do, but they gravitate towards coaches to like almost do everything for them,
feed their ego a bit.
Yeah, like they need to have their handheld through the whole fucking thing. Yeah. And it's like that's an important part, especially at times, because everybody gets fucking down and they're like, "Fuck this." They're like, they need someone to be like, "Come on, man, like let's go, stop being a bitch," right? Like, but it's like it's almost like these guys are looking to just glom onto anybody that will like take them on, and like that guy's a fucking moron half the time.
Yeah.
He's literally a moron, him or her. And you're just like, go ahead.
But Mike, let me ask you this: is there part of you that love that?
Yeah, like I'm never. There's nothing I'm more grateful for in life than the fact that I played college football, because there's nothing anyone can say to me that, like, well, you guys know me, I don't give a fuck about anything.
No, but like I had coaches in high school. I mean, I never played obviously at your level, but like I had coaches in high school that were. I remember Godfrey Janice. Janice,
I remember him.
Yeah, remember it? He was no matter what you did, even if it was good, he'd be like, you're a piece of shit. Like there was
old school football coaches are the toughest guys around.
That's why it's like when I give instruction to people or I talk or I say something, it's like it's coming from like I've been programmed for fucking. You know what I mean? Like I've been programmed, dude. Like I've been like I was followed around for a whole week of practice because I was told I sucked so bad. The head coach followed me through every drill. and he had a southern accent. His name was Tim Stowers. Anyone watching from school knows that. He's like, "You suck," and he'd be like, even if I just like fucking pick the guy up, like throw him down, like tackle the guy, he's like, "Get up, you fucking suck. You did it once." It's like, I'm like, motherfucker. Even like to the point where like teammates were coming up to me in the locker room, like just patting me on the shoulder, like, sorry, man. Like,
I wonder if it's still like that now, if it's starting to
No
soften.
way. No way.
Well, like look what happened to Bobby Knight. You know, like,
Depends on the level. Depends on the level.
You're not allowed.
For sure, it's the same.
I guarantee in high school they're not allowed to talk to us.
High school, I doubt it. Maybe
high school for sure.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm wondering in college though.
In the States, I bet it's still like that. A lot of
Yeah.
But look, let me ask you this, Ian, or Mike, when you were competing. Like, there's a reason me and Paul are best friends. This guy will shit on me day and night. Like, he's like, your career sucks. You're a shit pro. Like, these guys, I used to train him.
I love this guy.
All very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I don't tell lies.
But him and like a couple other friends, we used to all train, and they would just be like, "You fucking suck. You lost again. You're whatever." And I'm like, "But
when you gonna win a show?"
But I actually enjoyed. My brother said that to me. His
brothers are worse than we are.
My brother came to a show, and I took third at the Flex Pro. It was like one of my best showings ever.
Yeah.
And we're out having dinner afterwards. He goes, "Can't you fucking win a show?" He's like, "What is this?" What the fuck? But I'm like, but I'll be honest with you. This is why these guys are my friends. I know some guys only are friends with people who like pat them on the butt every fucking day.
That's such like a camaraderie building thing when you can have your boys like shit on you like that in the the shittiest times.
Yeah,
that's like a real bond, you know. Like,
but I also don't want I don't want to hang out with a fan. Like I don't want my friend to be a fan. I want him just to be my friend.
Them to be your friend.
Yeah. Like I don't want them to be like, "Oh, good job," or like you're rooting.
You want them to be shitting on you the same as they would be before and after your bodybuilding. You know.
That's right.
No matter how good you're doing or how bad you're doing, you want them to shit on you the same as a friend.
That's right. You know? Yeah. So I guess even though I didn't have like horrible coaches, I made up for it with horrible friends that would just shit on me instead.
Yeah, but they kept you grounded. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. That's why I like that, because it keeps you like down to earth and your fucking head doesn't blow up.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you, Paul.
You're welcome, Fouad.
Yeah, but I shit on you. I shit on you right back. So.
I know. Worse.
when people hear us talking, I think we've heard this like a million times. They're like, "Are you guys actually friends?"
I just picture Paul like the guy from Happy Gilmore is like jackass.
Oh yeah. I used to. I would tell you this story, Mike.
Jackass.
I used to put these little tags on Fouad's posts. I'd be like gay or super gay, stuff like that. just like one comment word, like one
and
word
then
comment.
I blocked him. I was like,
"Gay blocked me."
Like,
yeah. I didn't know it though. I didn't know he blocked me for months. And then I think I told this story before, but let me tell it one more time. So then one day my wife is like, "Hey, did you see that post that Fouad put up today?" And I'm like, "No, I didn't see no post." So I go on my Instagram. I'm looking for it. I can't find it. So I search his name, and his name doesn't come up. So then it dawned on me, Fouad had blocked me. So I call him, like, "Did you block me?" He's like, "Yeah, months ago."
It took you months to figure out your best friend blocked you.
I didn't use Instagram a whole lot back then.
Okay, Ian, I have a question for you.
Sure.
There's a gay guy.
Why asking Ian?
And because Ian's our resident gay expert. James is the resident racist expert. Ian's the resident gay expert. All right, so there's a gay guy and a straight guy.
Okay.
And they're best friends.
Okay.
Gay guy, they've been best friends for like 5 years.
Okay. Was the gay guy always outwardly gay even when they became friends?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Now, they get to a point, and the gay guy goes to his friend. He's like, "Listen, man, I love being around you, and you know, we just like I love your personality. Like, would you consider getting a sex change so we could be together?
So we could be one."
Has that ever happened? What's Mike laughing at?
Ian's face is just like, where's this going?
But the other guy's not gay.
Right. That's my point.
So, like, why would he get a sex change that he doesn't want to fuck the gender?
No. Wait, I reversed it. So the straight guy loves the gay guy.
Right.
Then he's like, gay too.
They love each other, but as friends.
He's not gay. He loves them as a friend. But he's like, "Hey, if you got
but he wants him to turn to a girl because
if you got a sex change, we could be together."
Right.
Oh.
Do you think that's ever happened?
I mean, probably
because James
it's
is
certainly not happening often, but in the whole world, sure, it has happened. Yes,
yeah.
James is convinced that it's happened, and he's like 100% for sure, like it's happened. And I'm like,
I mean, man,
that wouldn't happen.
Have like been married to mannequins and shit. There's definitely someone that's done this, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Google it. Gotta be out there.
What am I going to Google?
Yeah, it's so hard to Google.
Best friends.
Yeah, how do you word that?
If a gay guy and a straight guy were friends.
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel like why would the straight guy get a sex change?
I can see the logic in it. Like you'd be thinking
the gay guy's getting the sex change.
Yeah.
Like he can be a woman for the straight guy.
Well, he would be getting a sex change because he also loves the straight guy and wants to have sex with him because he's gay, and that's a man.
Right.
The other guy is not gay, so he wants the guy to be a girl so that he can fuck him and not feel gay.
Right.
But he's still gay.
Yeah.
But is it?
Of course it is.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
Paul, if
tomorrow, people like the world right now would say no, but
Paul,
it's still a man.
Wait a minute.
I agree. Fouad. Okay, let me first say, yeah, it's gay. But I'm just saying, you could make an argument that maybe it's not.
I'm just saying, if tomorrow you went and got double D's and cut your dick off, I would still know it was you. So that would make me gay.
I wouldn't change any of this.
You still have the 2 chromosomes of a man.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah,
no, but not even. I don't even mean scientifically. I mean, if I looked in your eyes, I would be like, "That's Paul."
Right. Yeah.
That's because he's been your best friend for fucking decades.
But that's the same situation.
Yeah.
You only said 5 years, but yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Even if I was friends with him for 5 years, I'd be like, "That's still Paul."
Yeah, you couldn't make me like that. You couldn't look me in the eyes at least.
No. Okay, forget it.
No, I'm sure it has happened, but it's definitely not happening a lot.
No, it's not common.
No.
I just wonder how much you would really have to be like.
You would have to really be in love with that straight friend already to be willing to make that commitment. Yeah.
And then you'd have to be rolling the dice to see if it would work. Because what if you got a sex change and the guy was like, you still feel like a guy, forget it.
It doesn't look good.
I think mentally, I think what it would do to your psyche if you got a sex change not really being actually like having gender dysphoria or whatever they call it, like thinking you're something else. Yeah. If you got one just for someone else, I think it would fuck you up over the long run. You'd have a lot of like identity crisis with your fucking body and shit.
He's right. See, that's why he's the gay expert. Somebody actually wrote me after the podcast with James, and he said transgender people don't change for anybody else, they change for themselves. So Ian's right. Because that means if you changed for another dude, you would never do that. You would never be like, even
if you did,
you're supposed to accept that person.
You would.
I think in the long run, you'd be fucked up.
Yeah. What's wrong?
I'm just trying to wrap my head around all this.
What are you having trouble with? Let's dig into it.
Just the guy's friend.
Was the gay guy get the
so the butler's gay?
It's a lot of gay stuff going on here. I'm just trying to figure out who's the worst.
You're just trying to figure out. You're like, I better not say anything wrong. I don't want to be the
one
of it. All right, let's move on. I thought that would be a lot harder to answer, but see, Ian's got the fucking answers.
Oh, we thought it through.
What's going on, guys? Today's podcast is brought to you by Bashmouth from Bashmouth.com. And as you guys know, I have been partnered with them for quite a while now. The energy gum market is growing, and they are killing it. They've changed their packaging to this resealable bag that people seem to really love. Throw it in your gym bag, throw it in the office, throw it in your car. Wherever you're going to need a shot of energy, this is where you're going to leave it. I'm going to show you guys the website really quick. If you go to Bashmouth.com and use code RBP, you get 10% off. Just go to shop. There's free shipping on orders over $30, as you can see here. If you go to shop, you can get a sample bag, you can get a stick, you can get a full box, you get what you need, and now you can get bags too. But they have all this merchandise as well. Just use code RBP at checkout and get 10% off. Guys, check out Bashmouth Gum. If you need an energy boost, this is the way to go. Paul, what's going on with you? What's new? Anything?
Been busy working lately.
That's right. You're working with you're actually working like a real human at the border.
Yeah, I'm actually showing up for my shifts. It's I don't like it too much.
No,
looking forward to some time off.
5 years, you get to retire.
5 more years, less than
you
5
really
years.
Work at the border?
Yeah, 22 years almost.
I'll let you know when I come by.
Don't even, Mike.
Who has tried this many times?
Well, I had something in my eye.
This is
I'm down to my last 4 years, Mike. That I'm out of that place.
Mike, this fucking guy. Listen, Paul is the most honest person on fucking earth. I can't pay him to place an athlete. I can't fucking pay him to let me go across the border. Doesn't matter what the fuck I do. He's like, no.
My
No, I
integrity.
get it, Paul. I get it.
Text me.
Mike, what's up with you? Anything new?
No.
You
same
dropped
shit.
you dropped your clothing.
Yeah, it went good. It went pretty well.
Is that the first clothing drop?
No, it's the fourth one.
Well, yeah, I know you have hoodies and stuff because you sent me some, but
Yeah.
that
I've done
seemed like
four now.
that seemed like a big one though. Were they all that big?
Yeah, they've steadily gotten bigger each one that I've done. So this one was good. And I'm gonna launch a website hopefully next week. What the fuck? Oh.
We're looking at your page. Where
I thought I just got cut off. I was like,
no, you're still here. I was just going to show people the drop. Anywhere? Is it here?
Some of it. That was just the video. The shirts aren't loaded as pictures. They were just up as stories.
Yeah, but there's a ton of different.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
There's like 18 shirts.
I like this one the best, right?
Go below. Go to the post below.
This one.
We are the wicked. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
What's the one with
But
the?
it only flashes it there. There's no pictures.
That's okay. That's good enough.
Okay.
Where is it? Big pecs, paychecks. I like this one, and I like this one.
We are the wicked is sick. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to buy some shit.
Yeah.
Did you order one?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me? I would have fucking put an order with you.
I would have just sent you. Just tell me what you want.
No, man, we got to.
They're going out this week, so just tell me. And I'll send them to you guys.
Support each other.
I sent it in a couple weeks ago.
Ian, where's your merch? Anything?
I'm gonna probably do some before Toronto. Yeah.
Are you gonna do another? It's only gay if you're gay.
That was a one-hit wonder.
Mike, don't laugh. The guy put them out, sold out.
Limited release.
It's awesome. I would have bought one if I knew.
Yeah, me
Sold out
too.
real quick. Yeah.
All right.
No, that's not a joke. You can like play on shirts for too long. You know.
You do a lot of limited stuff though. Do you have any staples, or you just sell? You just go in chunks, right?
I'll just do like a drop for a prep kind of thing, and like do like 3 or 4 shirts and maybe a sweater or something, 5 items maybe, and just get a couple hundred units of each, sell them out, and that's it. Yeah.
Why haven't you?
I've done one long sleeve. It's a white long sleeve with like a crest that says Valliere. We have done it twice, but we slightly changed it the second time. It was a little bit different.
So is this like is it like an act? Because I know some companies have that as an actual strategy where they're like limited run. That's it. It's all you get. Is that a strategy, or are you just lazy? You're like, I'm going to do this during my prep. And
yeah, probably.
What are you laughing at? I'm serious. No, because I know how bodybuilders are. They're in prep. They get really productive. Like, I'm going to come up with shirts.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't do it anyways. Melissa does all my shirts, and she packs up every order, ships every order. Yeah. So it's like it's a lot. Like when you get like a few thousand orders, you know how much that is to print those labels, package them, organize the size. It takes a lot for one person to do. So
you're not getting a few thousand orders. Come on, you just pump the numbers up.
Okay, like 15 orders.
No, but I think you have a fucking huge following. You should have a regular thing going.
Yeah, I mean, the Ivy League training one I did, I think I'd bring that one back and maybe make it a staple. People like that requested a lot. So there's a couple that I just haven't done enough to know which ones yet. So, but I think over time I'm learning which ones will be the ones people want to see, and I'll bring them back as staples. Yeah.
I would do something we're going to start doing. I think Mike's already doing it actually, is having like 3 or 4 staples of each design, and then bringing in like a new drop. Yeah, a new drop here and there. I think we're going to start doing something like that. But I think, dude, you should just get like a fulfillment center to do it. That way Melissa doesn't have to do it, and you just run your shit all the time.
Yeah,
you're losing money. Let me manage your shit. We'll just do it. We'll do it secretly.
Well, you used to do it the same way, Fouad, when you first started with your clothing line.
That's why I said if he was lazy, because that's what I used to do before.
You were lazy. Yeah, I know why.
Before Hostile.
At the time you were lazy. You're not lazy anymore.
Before Hostile, the Hostile clothing was the first thing I started. And I did the same thing Ian was doing. I did it out of my basement. I'd pack all the orders.
Yeah.
But before that, I would get into prep. I would get like super hyper focused. I would drop a shirt, sell it out, and then prep would be over. And I'm like,
Yeah.
No, I also do a lot of the shirts theme based on the event, you know.
Yeah.
It'll be like an Olympia shirt or a Toronto Pro shirt.
Yeah.
So like a lot of them, like those I don't keep. I'm not going to keep those on the site, you know.
Of
Like
course,
I'll do like 200 to 500 and sell those, and then that'll be it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've done a couple that ones that could stay and they sold well. So yeah, I mean, now that I have some more intel, I'll probably bring 2 or 3 of them back and just leave them as mainstays. You know, especially once we're situated in Florida, because it's easy to do that with Revive has its own in-house printing and stuff, right? So.
Oh yeah, that's sweet. Huh. I thought about that. Maybe I should.
Are you gonna go to Toronto show for it?
I don't see why not. Yeah, I got to see Ian compete.
Yeah,
of course I am. If Ian wasn't there, what am I gonna do? Watch the back of your head?
You could come watch me judge.
Just clap, clap. Good job, Paul.
Cheer for me. Cheer for me here and there.
Good judging.
Judge number 4.
Are you judging the pro show?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Oh,
Yeah.
You better be nice to Paul.
We'll talk.
You can bribe him with with weed. It'd be
Bag of
fine.
weed.
You already told them that's not possible.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some questions. If you could be the lead actor for any major action movie remake, what would it be?
Rambo.
I was just gonna say,
That would be
okay,
pretty
I'll take Commando.
Oh, did you see what they're remaking? Roadhouse.
Yeah.
They're gonna fuck
Jake
it up.
Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal ended at a UFC. Yeah.
And Conor McGregor.
Did Jake Gyllenhaal actually fight in the UFC?
No,
so what they did, it was like a mid-event thing they did.
Okay.
So they just used it like as for filming the movie. They just used the real crowd and the real octagon, the scenario, and then they did an acted fight at it. You know,
he was in good shape though.
He looked peeled.
Yeah. I think they're gonna fuck it up though. That's a classic.
That'd be my pick.
Patrick Swayze.
In Roadhouse.
You want to be Patrick Swayze?
In Roadhouse.
Of all the fucking movies.
Well, like not Dirty Dancing Patrick Swayze.
Dirty Dancing.
Roadhouse. Patrick Swayze. Roadhouse. Yeah, he was awesome. He kicked ass and he got the girl at the end.
Patrick Swayze in Point Break. Surfer.
That was a good movie. Yeah.
I'll take. I want to say.
It'd be pretty badass to be Arnold in the Terminator movies too.
Ooh, yeah.
I was thinking more.
Just be fucking like machine gun, fucking no emotion, shooting people. That'd be sick.
Or Rocky.
That'd be fucking
I was
Thanos.
thinking,
Rocky, you got to learn to box though. I don't want to fuck. That's a lot of work, you know.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, Rocky's not. It's not superpower-ish enough. Not superpower, but like it's too normal.
Yeah.
I'd rather be like John Wick.
Yeah, you want to be someone that's.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the new one?
No.
Apparently, it's just a half-hour fight scene.
Really?
It's the best one.
Really,
Other than the first one, it's the best one.
It's just a fight scene for 3 hours. Yeah.
Did you go to the?
But it's fucking great, man.
Yeah.
He takes such unbelievable. The guy jumps out of a 4-story building, clips a fucking van, and smashes on the ground, and just gets up like, oh.
Wait a minute.
If I did that, I'd still.
That's what Fouad wants. He wants those superpowers.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Did you see it in the theater, or is it on like one of the? Oh, okay. It's not on any of the platforms yet.
Oh, it might be soon.
On my Amazon Prime for pre-order, so I don't know when you can buy it off.
Okay.
It's good.
What were you gonna say, Paul? You don't get into those movies?
I haven't gotten into John Wick.
Why?
The whole franchise. I don't know. I just never did. I think I watched the first one and that was it.
You didn't like it?
I did.
Has anyone listened to my
I just haven't watched it. How many is there? Like 3, 4?
There's 4 now.
4?
I watch Yellow Jackets. It sucks.
What the fuck?
Fouad told me he was disappointed in your selection. Told me the other day.
It started out okay. I'm like, okay, this is not bad. And then I'm like,
how far into you?
Like the 4th episode, I think.
And you don't like it?
No, it's too. It turned into like ghosts and shit. And I was like,
Well, you might think that, but you got to keep going with it.
Really?
You guys watch Succession?
Because I thought it was. I thought it was
about that.
I thought it was more like real life.
Well, you got to keep going. Just let it go.
Okay. I'll give it another episode too.
Succession is really good. You wouldn't think so, but it's good.
Really?
I've heard Succession's good. Yeah.
That's a couple seasons in, isn't it?
I'm only on the first season, but it's good.
We're off the topic here. So you're going Rambo
or Terminator.
You can't pick both.
Hey, Terminator.
Terminator.
I'm Wolverine in any X-Men movie.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh.
I'm trying to think. When you said remake, and maybe trying to think of older, but that's a good one.
Paul?
I'm Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse.
I'm gonna fuck you up, man.
Definitely. One of the best roles ever.
I was gonna say Neo.
Oh my god, that's a good answer. Yeah. Is that? Yeah.
Neo or John Wick? I don't know. I got a Keanu Reeves crush, I guess.
Yeah.
Brad
Pretty
Pitt and Troy.
Roy.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Oh, what
That's
about what's it? Russell Crowe in Gladiator?
That's another good one.
Brad Pitt was way hunkier, though. You got to go for that.
Yeah, he's a better looking man. He's definitely better looking.
He's
Gerard Butler.
hunkier. What was the movie I just saw with Russell Crowe in it? It was a fighting movie. It was a boxing movie. It was a true story.
Cinderella Man, isn't it?
No, that's one of my favorite movies.
Is that Russell Crowe?
No, that's Gerard Butler. No, it's Russell Crowe. Yeah, it's Russell Crowe.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Russell Crowe. Yeah, it's one of my.
Who's that about again? James Braddock.
Yeah.
There's a new movie Russell Crowe's in coming out called The Exorcism of the Pope.
I saw
It's pretty demented.
Really?
Yeah, pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's Russell Crowe, but there's another one that just came out. It's a true story about. It's one of like the first English heavyweight champions. Sorry, guys, I just want to find this. It's bothering me now. I just watched it. It was pretty good. I'm not gonna be able to find it. Forget it.
I'm gonna fucking find it.
It's a true story.
Are you sure it's Russell Crowe?
Yes. Jem Belcher. That's it. So the movie is
Prize Fighter.
Is that what it's called?
What it's called?
Yeah. Sorry guys. I'm just share this. Yeah, Prize Fighter. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's on. I can't remember what platform I watched it on.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. Well, you can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube, I guess. I thought it was good. But I'm a huge Gerard Butler, or why do I keep calling him Gerard Butler?
I love Gerard Butler.
You were a Gerard Butler.
I'm a huge Gerard Butler fan. No, I'm a huge Russell Crowe fan. So Troy or Neo?
I would pick Neo in the Matrix over that, though.
All right, we'll go Neo. All right. Shows. Tetris. Did you guys watch Tetris?
No.
Gotta watch Tetris. Good movie.
Tetris?
It's about the game, right?
It's called Tetris. It's about the movie. It's about how the game was made.
Oh, really?
It's actually really good. The guy that stars in it is the star of like that other movie or a show, Blackbird.
Yeah.
You never seen Blackbird either?
No. I'm behind, eh? I don't watch a lot of shows.
Fuck you doing night?
I'm a busy man, Fouad. I'm busy. I got a job.
What do you mean?
Time for this TV stuff.
We gotta go over this on the podcast. Every day, Paul tells me he's busy when he's not working. And I say, what are you doing? He's like, oh, run some errands. And I'm like, what errands are you running? What are you doing? He's like, well, I gotta go to the bank and I gotta go to the hardware store. And I'm like, that takes 20 minutes. Then what?
That'll take 20 minutes.
You always say you're so busy. I'm like, what are you doing?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't get anything accomplished. but I feel like I'm busy all the time.
A thick to-do list.
It sounds like you're so fucking busy that your day is packed.
I will say I procrastinate. So maybe that's why it takes me longer to do stuff, maybe.
So how do you like if you go somewhere?
Well, in the time you're procrastinating, watch your show.
I started doing that for a bit, and I might get back into that again. I was telling Fouad I want to watch The Wire. Just going to download all those episodes.
Wire.
Don't you have downtime at the end of the night? Like I have downtime from like 9 o'clock on usually.
Depends. If it's a work day, then it's a little bit later.
Oh yeah, you got to get up at like 5 a.m. Eh?
I get up around 5:30, 5:45.
Yeah, so you're in bed.
Which I hate.
Yeah. What's your commute to work to the border?
Oh, it's not long. They built this new highway here. That's like I live right behind it.
Dude, it's not even the highway though. Windsor's 15 minutes end to end.
But ever since they built that though, Fouad, it's way faster.
I get there
like in 15 minutes now.
Yeah. Don't watch Blackbird first. It's only like 8 episodes.
I'm gonna watch The Wire first.
The Wire's like 9 seasons.
The Wire's got.
I know it's gonna take some time.
I'm
gonna peck away at the iron.
Yeah.
The Wire's fucking awesome though.
I've never seen The Wire, but I'm telling you, watch. I promise you will not be disappointed. Yes.
What's it about?
Watch. I'll show you.
When you said Blackbird, I was thinking of that Sandra Bullock movie where they can't look. What's that called?
That's Bird Box.
Bird Box.
Yeah. That was a fucked up movie.
Ian, is it Blackbird?
Yeah.
Is it Blackbird I'm thinking of?
The show, yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Blackbird. Here.
Yeah. There's Black Hat, which is a movie, and then there's Blackbird, which is a show.
Here, let's watch the trailer together.
Okay. Let's
Kingsman, right? Yeah.
Let us.
Wait.
Kingsman. It's the kid from the Kingsman.
Wait. I don't know if I'm going to get copyrighted for this, but I think it's worth it to convince Paul.
I wanted a totally different life. A steady.
Or he'll know we sent you for him.
All right.
That looks amazing.
Is it
Yeah,
bad
it does
that
look good.
I watched so many shows that I forgot that I've actually seen that entire show?
Is
Rewatch it, I'm like, oh yeah, I actually know how this ends. I've seen all this.
it just one season?
Yeah. But I'm telling you, it's totally worth it. One,
It's really
Okay, I'll start it tonight.
I promise you, you won't regret it. That guy, the fatter guy, he's plays in other movies. He usually
He was
plays
Richard Jewell in that
Yeah.
movie, the Richard
Yeah.
Jewell movie.
he was really good.
Oh,
in that
I
too.
never saw that yet either.
Oh, you gotta watch it.
Yeah, he's creepy as fuck. Yeah,
There's so many things I gotta.
But he's such a good fucking actor in that movie,
He's
man.
good.
You're like,
Yeah.
holy fuck. Yeah, because normally he plays like these dumb, aloof characters that are fucking either funny or stupid. In this movie, he's like dead fucking serious serial killer, and he's awesome.
Yeah,
Anyway, you gotta watch it. And if you don't watch it,
I will.
I'm not working
I'll
out with
report
you.
back to you.
I'm not working out with you until you watch it again.
I promise. Next time we want a podcast, I'll tell you what I watched. How many episodes I watched.
We want a full report.
Yeah,
Book
Isn't
report.
I want to? I need to find something new. Is The Wire good?
I've never seen it.
The Wire's good, and there's a lot of it. Yeah,
A lot of it's not bad though, because I'll crush like 10 seasons in a week.
that's what I'm saying. That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
It's a lot,
yeah.
a lot of
Fuck.
I always hear it referred to like whenever people talk about like realistic police shows. I always hear them refer to The Wire, so that's why I thought it'd be something interesting to watch.
Yeah, the Wire. The Wire's like drug dealing gangs, like stuff like that.
Yeah, Baltimore, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Ian, you finished it?
No, I haven't.
You
finished.
watched
I watched.
you watched that documentary about the cops in Baltimore who were like running a fucking
No.
extortion ring and like just like they were like busting people, then they go rob their houses,
No way.
like drug
Really?
dealers and shit. They'd follow them around, set them up. It's crazy. I don't know what it's called. It's on Prime though. I forget what it's called.
There was a story in Canada. Remember, there was wasn't there a Toronto police unit that was doing that in the 80s or 90s?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know. Who's the best singer out of all the boys, and who's the best dancer?
I'm the worst dancer for sure.
I'll take the singing.
You think you're the best singer?
I
I
don't
wonder
know about
who could
I'm
actually.
not gonna say yes, only because you're gonna be like, sing something.
No.
that.
I'm trying to think of who else could sing.
I bet you
Like,
James
he
can sing.
definitely can't sing.
I have a very good microphone voice.
Yeah.
But
ASMR Fouad.
James, I'll tell you this: James is the best at doing like narration.
Narration voice for sure.
Yeah, he's got the best like background voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did one for Flex Lewis. They did like an ad together, and James did the narration of the commercial.
Yeah.
It's fucking perfect.
Yeah, he's got a good voice for that.
Yeah. The best dancer. I can't see any of us dancing because we're all.
I can see James. He does backflips.
Or I could see Justin dancing for some reason.
You can see James dancing.
Well, he does. He can do backflips.
The guy's fucking Thanos.
I know, but
What
he
about
can just
Guy?
do-
Can Guy dance?
yeah, I can see Guy. busting
I would
moves.
say he's the best
He's
singer.
from Jersey.
He had
Fucking
Italian
Jersey.
dance. he just pumped his fists
Fist
with
pumping.
Italians. Yeah.
Best workout music. One song each.
Oh, we've done this question 100 times.
Yeah, I know, but we all need new music. So come on. Ian doesn't like music. That's why he doesn't want to do it.
Oh, I'm just
Yeah,
so bad at thinking of songs. I need to get my phone. But
You got to pick one from your playlist.
I also don't listen to music when I train because I was training with a partner. So
I got one I've been listening to over and over again lately.
Hmm.
Hail to the King.
oh, great
Event-
song.
Avenged Sevenfold. Yeah.
I post what's that Avenged Sevenfold one that I post to? Can you just type them in on your Spotify?
Avenged Sevenfold.
It'll be like
Oh.
one of
Paul, what's yours?
Edge of 17, Stevie Nicks.
them. That's awesome.
I love Stevie Nicks.
Last time you were like, oh, what did you say last time? ASAP Rocky.
Oh yeah, fucking problems. I love that song too. I got a wide.
No, the way he said it last time. Listen, so
I love that bitch just got a fucking problem.
That's such a dad.
Yeah.
it was me. I think it was me, Ben, James, and Paul, and we all said something like totally bodybuilder-ish. And Paul goes last. He's like, he's looking at his phone. He reads it. He's like, "Fucking problems." ASAP Rocky.
I do love that song though.
Okay, wait. Let me type this in for Ian. You probably do it faster than me, Ian. I got the biggest, fattest finger sometimes.
Oh, that's why I hate touchscreen phones. I want to go back to a BlackBerry.
Avenged Sevenfold. Why is this taking forever to load? Can't do it. It's not bringing anything up. Wait, there we go. Hail to the King, Nightmare, Bat Country, Afterlife.
Shepherds of Fire.
That was the next one I was going to say.
Sick fucking song.
What's it sound like? This content is not authorized. What?
Oh.
Did you pick a song for Toronto yet, Ian?
Is it playing?
Yeah.
We can't hear anything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to feed it into the microphone.
Okay, forget it. All right.
Oh, there it went. Played.
Just for a second.
Well, anyways, people can fucking YouTube it.
What was yours, Mike?
Did my time. Corn.
Ooh, I like corn.
Oh, corn's a good one. Okay. Let me see. How often are guys ripping ass on stage?
Not that much.
Or backstage than anything.
Backstage for sure.
Yeah.
Because at that point you're like kind of trying to push out the gas because you want to like feel empty, you know?
Yeah.
Like if there's any time you really want to take a shit and piss and feel as empty as possible, it's right before you go on stage, you know? I'll trickle out every last bit of piss and fucking fart, whatever I can, you know?
What bodybuilder would you like to see become the next US president?
Who?
What bodybuilding personality, not just bodybuilder, could be a president?
Personality?
Yeah, like anybody in the bodybuilding world. Like not
a current.
Not just a competitive bodybuilder.
I just want to see Ronnie Coleman up there giving executive orders.
That would be awesome.
I gotta pound the shit out of that, buddy.
I saw the best fucking meme. I don't know why. I saw this fucking meme the other day. It killed me. It said, "My doctor said I could only lift lightweight," and it was a picture of Ronnie Coleman smiling.
I could see Lee Haney being the president.
Yeah.
Oh,
or Lee
yeah.
Labrada.
Lee
Or Lee Labrada.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a good one. Lee Labrada might even be better. Yeah. Those are both good choices, though. They're both like very diplomatic, thoughtful, like good, wholesome guys, you know.
Good people. Yeah.
But like also like tough enough, you know.
I could see Jay. I could see Jay being president.
Jay
Cutler. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I could see Jay being president. He's fiscally responsible.
Yeah.
He's diplomatic. Doesn't get involved in the drama.
Man of the people.
Man
He would
of the
unite
people.
both sides.
He would unite everybody.
He would unite the left and the right.
Yeah. Jay. It's Jay.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
picking the most modern, Jay is definitely not the best choice. Yeah.
No, I would take Jay over Lee.
Either of the Lees would both be pretty good, man. Like, but you know, I agree. Any of them are good options. I mean, you can't really fault any of them, you know.
Lee Priest.
Lee watches this. Be careful.
He'd be a great president. I'd live in his country.
I'd vote for him.
Yeah.
Would you vote for Lee?
Yep.
I feel like the last thing Lee Priest would ever want to be is the president, you know?
Yeah.
I think Lee would piss
Actually, I
off.
want him to be my vice president to Ronnie Coleman.
Imagine that fucking duo, eh?
Have you ever reached a point? Nope.
Just
Nope.
reached it.
What is one bad thing that has happened that you know made you the man you are today?
Oh.
Mike, you go first.
One bad thing that has happened.
What's one bad thing in your life that's happened that's made you who you are today?
Playing football, the entire experience.
I can think of one. Think about it for a second.
Me?
Yeah.
You know one for me?
Yes. Well, I think I know one for you. It's pretty obvious, I think.
What?
Seriously?
What's one bad thing that's happened?
Well, it's not a bad thing that's happened to you, but it's been part of your life.
We'll say it.
Tell me.
Well, Darren.
Oh yeah. That was
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Darren, for those people who don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, Darren Oliver,
Like a best thing, worst thing. Yeah.
was Mike's coach, who was very close. They were very close. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Yeah, they were very close, and I see a lot of the stuff you're teaching now. A lot of it, it's not Darren stuff, but a lot of it has some of that in it.
Yeah.
So, I would say that is made you who you are today. No, or part of
for sure.
Yeah.
I was thinking of stupid shit we've been talking about on the podcast, but
Yeah,
going back, yes.
Sometimes we're serious. It's not always. Not always about shit and
no, I wouldn't. I mean, with him and like him, especially, and another man I trained with in Rhode Island when I first started bodybuilding, were like the biggest influences in my life. So in terms of like, especially when it comes to training and everything. So one taught me intensity, and the other one taught me like meticulous detail. So
what kind of
a good combination?
So I don't know the first one. The guy in Rhode Island taught you intensity?
Yeah, just like I was a fucking wild animal when I got back up to Toronto, like because I finished playing football and then I was training with a guy named Joe Felicia down in Rhode Island, who's just a very good friend of mine, and he kind of showed me what it kind of took to be a bodybuilder, and I had no idea what that was.
Can you explain a bit what that means? Like
it was just like I came from a sports background, right? So you guys know, like you're lifting for sports, explosive power and clean and jerks and not a lot of auxiliary stuff, and I wanted to be a big dude. I wanted to be a bodybuilder. I wasn't lifting like one. I had the size of one, but I wasn't lifting like one, nor was I as full as I needed to be. And he was like, you don't lift like a bodybuilder. He's like, show up Monday and do exactly what I tell you. And I was like, okay. I was like, what the fuck was that? And from that moment on, I was just like balls to the wall. Like, that's why you guys talking about like when you were younger, how every workout was like, the 6 days a week of like, I would show up to leg days 45 minutes early so I could dry heat for 45 minutes in anticipation of like the hell I was about to go through.
I would get like that. Yeah, I get anxiety.
Just sitting in the fucking gym like
Paul actually threw up for the first like 2 weeks we worked out together.
First couple of years.
There was
2 weeks turned into 2 years.
I threw up during a set once. I kept going. A set of leg presses.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We had at our gym, we had a track that went like around the whole gym, and there was a wall that like kind of hid part of the track. So when we would train legs, Paul would put the garbage pail behind the wall.
So like see me throwing up.
Halfway through our leg workout, he would go back there, throw up. Never tapped out though.
Oh, I never quit.
I used to like sit in the corner of it was a small weight room in Rhode Island. The gym's not even around anymore. And I used to sit like beside the squat rack in between the hack squat. I sit in the corner, like against the wall on an exercise ball, just like bouncing and like.
What the fuck?
And like my trainer Joe would
by.
come in and be like, "You ready to go?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm really good." Like dry heaving for no reason. I'm just anxious as fuck. Like.
So he taught you how to be fucking crazy, and then you met Darren, and he refined it all.
Yeah, like he was like, "This is great, but like." You don't have a lower lat. You don't have a lower lat to speak of, and you don't understand how to do this or that. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. What's that?
So when you met, how long had you been training with weights when you met Darren?
Well, I've been lifting
not body, not like football. I mean, like actual bodybuilding.
I mean, I tried to do makeshift bodybuilding when I wasn't playing football, but like dedicated to bodybuilding, I was dedicated to for basically 2 years, and then I moved back to Toronto to be with my mom, and I came back here. I obviously didn't have Joe anymore, so I was like, fuck, like I was one of those people who was looking for someone to like, because I was new. I had done 2 shows in Rhode Island, but I had no idea what I was doing. Like a fucking idiot. So I'm like, fuck, can someone take me in? I met a couple of people who guided me the right way, and then I told you I got a job at Extreme Fitness, and Darren was my fucking fit test assessment guy. And I was like, And I had to take someone, and next thing I know, I'm like, oh, you show me some weird shit, and I was like, cool.
So was your back, because I know your back was your best body part, but did you have to learn how to feel that, or was it all like, were you genetically gifted for that, like right away?
No, I had a pretty good back anyway. I just didn't have like
the lower part.
It wasn't refined, right? Like it was like a lot of like heavy trap development, and like our rhomboids, like my erectors were fucking always massive as fuck, but I just didn't have like that fullness and that like drapingness of the lat.
Yeah.
So he kind of taught me how to like allow myself to like pull with lat open already, like understand where lat is and just move on like small ranges, understanding how to feel lat, right?
Me and Paul were talking about that today. We were training back, and we were doing a I guess a reverse incline with like one of those cambered bars, like on the bench, so you could kind of pull. It was almost like a barbell row, but we were doing it on a reverse incline bench.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So we were laying on the bench, so we could kind of just stabilize
like
our
facing up at the cable.
No. We're using a bar. We're using a cambered bar.
Yeah.
Just picture it on the ground.
Okay.
And we were laying flat, chest first, on an incline bench.
Oh, okay. And just like rowing up into,
and then rowing up into us.
Yeah, I don't like that.
With a barbell or dumbbells?
Barbell.
Well, cambered bar.
But it was a cambered bar.
The cambered bar allows you to get more range, right?
You could pull it past. Yeah, you pull it past the. Why don't you like that? You say you don't like that. Why not?
Just because I don't like the amount of shoulder retraction you can get in that, because you're forced so far forward a lot of the time. So it's hard for like really to roll up through things. You're kind of like and then down again. You know what I mean?
I don't know though, because I think we weren't like, we don't train super heavy anymore, so it was like,
yeah, so it might be okay.
So we had a light enough weight that I could like we would go until the bar hit the bench.
Yeah,
which was basically like,
you have a seal row in your gym.
It's like that.
It's like a seal row.
It's this. I make a makeshift one because I have the same bar.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to get the actual seal row. Either the one from our
Arsenal has one too.
The one from Arsenal is the one I like, but I figured this is good enough.
Yeah.
I felt them.
Anyway, yeah, I liked them too. What we were talking about at the time though was Paul was extending like that. No, you were extending his arms here, and I was telling him to go like to open it up all the way.
Let's stretch it.
So can you explain, Mike? Can you explain what that difference is between just straight arm out versus opening the shoulder all the way out?
You're talking like you're only netting in here, you're going to there.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's just you have to understand that like as much sink as I can get. So if my shoulder only goes here and I rock back to here, I can only get so much. Whereas if as much extension as I get is as much retraction as I can get, right? So I can shift that shoulder back and throw it behind my ear a lot more if I get more length off the bench and drive chest, right? Can I ask you? I'm just going to play devil's advocate though, because I've been training that way my whole life, but I'm just because things I hear recently, I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
So a lot of people tell you like this is the full stretch of the lat, right? And they say like,
I wouldn't agree with that either.
That's what I'm saying. So I just want you to explain it. So what I say is like go past that, like open it all the way, right? So mine is
my lat doesn't stretch here. It's where my elbow placement is and where my elbow goes.
Okay.
So it's not like my hand doesn't go up and it does take my lat, but it's where my pressure of my elbow takes my lat, not my shoulder and my hand. So if my elbow's here, even this far out, it's taking more lat than it is my arm going like this.
So I'm
thinking elbow pressure and stink on elbow all the time. I'm not trying to. My hand's taking my elbow out, and I'm dropping my elbow to pull.
But you're not thinking of the way I think of it is unlocking the shoulder.
Yeah,
just to get more.
I am, but I'm still conscious of keeping this down to understand that, like, once this unlocking starts to happen, I'm not going to let it go. I'm going to understand that there's a shift. So there's a rock and a shift out, right?
Okay.
So I'm more about knowing where that like kind of recoil point is.
So let me ask you this, and I don't know if this is you just answered that or not. If I go like this and I open up all the way, am I not just stretching out my teres, or am I also stretching the lat with it?
Well, you're stretching everything, I would assume, but it's just how the motion of the body and the mechanics of the pull is going to happen after that, right? So I can open up as high as I want, but just understanding like my motion of like sternum lift and shoulder drop, or like how much I'm rocking back, or wherever my motion of my body is after that, it's going to dictate where the final contraction kind of settles. Okay. Yes, like that's why it's weird to me when people are like, I'm just training lats, and they're like doing these strict rows. Like, yes, you're training your lat, but it's like your back is a dynamic muscle that moves in like a rounded motion or a rocking, like it rocks back over around.
Yeah.
So to think that like I'm just going to train this one little part by just moving this little tiny bit, it's like you can isolate areas by creating more movement and allowing more pull and understanding more depth. I can grab and squeeze into my lat, right? Or I can tip my shoulder, turn my shoulder, be more in lat right away.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just finding these angles. I think people are too concerned with like, yes, there's pieces of your back, but they don't need to be worked as individual pieces. They work synergistically, and you can send the contraction to where you optimally want it, right?
So again, 100% I agree with you, but just devil's advocate. If I'm talking to bodybuilder X, he may say to me, I got huge rhomboids, I got huge rear delts, I got fucking huge teres, my lower lats are shit. So I'm just doing this because I'm just trying to target one area. I don't want the other areas to grow. Why is that wrong?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, because like understanding if you have that much development in your back, you obviously know how to train your back in those movements, right?
Yeah.
You've developed a back that's worth talking about, and now you're just missing pieces.
Yeah.
So now it's getting you to understand like line of pull and lift of chest. So like now these pulls that you're doing great up high, now I have to understand how to tilt or maybe lock down shoulder and rock through.
Yeah.
And using that same momentum I use for all back development up top, just maybe lowering the weight and changing the angle.
So you're not shortening the range, you're just changing the line in which you pull from.
Yeah, I might shorten the range. It depends on the person's issue.
Okay.
Right. So if someone has like, say someone has like an overly developed, like they have lots of width, but they don't have a lot of meat. They don't have a lot of mid back.
Yeah.
So their problem is that they're probably able to pull long. They probably have like long arms and they're just pulling wide all the time. So I would set them up broken in a rep already here.
Okay.
And the chest pad, say it's a chest supported row, I'd have them start here, pulled back as hard as they can.
Yeah.
So that when they let hands out, it's their lat letting the hand out and then their arm pulling. So I'm never getting full extension. I'm rocking off chest right away. So I can't have this shoulder take over and open too much. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Okay.
So it depends on the person and how their development is. So
wow, it's so hard to get like, well, I shouldn't say it's hard, but it's like there's so many specifics depending on the body type that it's hard to get like some straight.
But usually you can, like if someone comes to you and they're like, oh, they know what they're aware of, like their problem is, and you can say like, well, like pull that.
Yeah.
Like show me your row.
Yeah.
Just change their hip position.
Yeah.
Change their chin position. Odds are they're pulling up or they're pulling down. If they're pulling down, get them to keep pulling up.
You're always you're always talking about chin position. Why? Why is that? Why?
It's the most important.
Oh, that matters so much. Yeah.
Okay, I know. Don't jump on me.
No, like
I'm curious too.
Just because, like, if my chin is if I'm here and I'm pressed back, right?
Yeah.
My back's engaged now, and anything that moves around this line of my stiff back, with my chin back, I can rock through. As soon as I do this, I fall. So I can't rock properly, right? I'm pulling into myself as opposed to lifting up through and pulling through or a chin that's pressed back. So now my sternum could lift.
I'm trying to, while you're saying that, I'm trying to think about how I row.
You want to have a neutral spine like that,
yeah.
It just depends. And some people need to like release chin and then they need to pull back when they pull. So it's okay if chin releases. It's just don't do this when you pull. Like it's just straight back. It's like someone hit you in the face.
Yeah.
So I'm drifting forward and I'm smacking back. You know what I mean?
And that contracts your back? Is that the reason why?
It just allows for a stiffer posterior chain so that shoulder can rock through and that sternum can lift.
So I
don't end up rolling into my pull, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you trying to create like the straightest line possible for your arms?
I'm trying to create this. Imagine that my stiffness is my spine.
Yeah.
So the rigidness of my back is my spine center line. I want everything to be able to move around that spine and pull back.
I
gotcha.
I don't want that spine to just be. You know
I mean, I think that's what I do, because if I think of myself doing a barbell row, I generally don't look up or down. I'm almost like,
right.
My back is like straight line.
Yeah, it literally depends on the person. Like I can't say to you three, like this is what you guys need to do for back. I'd have to see Paul, Ian, and I'd have to watch you guys, right? So it might be two different cues for each person. They're completely different, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying that's what it is for sure or anything. I always notice you saying, your neck back, neck forward. I'm like, I've never heard anybody else emphasize those things.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just asking.
It's also a lot of problem with back is the start of like the first mover, I call it. So like if I extend out here,
Yeah.
You see a lot of guys, they don't want to let this straighten over. It's this and it's this. It's like, I want to get here and I want to break. So I want to snap elbow, pop through. It's different than that.
Yeah.
Not this. It's boom, it's snapping up. So I'm forcing weight back forward. My head's staying up forward. My chest is rising, right?
Yeah.
So you get people to extend longer and then understand that break, especially on like one-arm dumbbell rows or one-arm work where it's like everyone wants to swing. It's just like snap, lift.
So let me, in saying that, it's curious. So I used to do this thing with John where we would go all the way out and then come down like with your scapula retracted. And then pull
then pull. Yeah.
So it was almost like a pull down was two motions. We would go down and then down again.
Like engage kind of your lats.
I would do that. I would, instead of like, you guys are going to end up here, but I would start you in a position where your scapula's down already. So that second part you get to before you pull, I would start you there.
Why?
And I would get you to rock out of there and then rock down through. So I want that to lift and go, as opposed to like starting here and then boom, boom. But a lot of people, when they do that double pull, if they do a double pull where they sink and then they pull, it's more of like a hand drive. It's like, as opposed to like rising and flexing, right?
Okay.
Whereas if you get people to start in the halfway range, it's like everything kind of, the lat kind of goes and then we pull it down.
So you're not saying you have to do that, because at the end of the day, the rep is the same. You're saying if you have trouble feeling it, that's probably a better way to start.
Yeah, because and you guys have seen it a million times. Like you've seen like big trainers train beginners or something. They're like, okay, like you're here and then you're gonna set and then you're gonna
pull back. Yeah.
It's like you set and then you pull, but this set blunts this lift. So if I pull in here, I can't get any more chest lift because it's just arm pull. Whereas I want to get rise up through.
Yeah, so you're saying if you start already there and then do it, you're more.
So I'm forcing weight into the chest pad, or I'm forcing weight forward, so that I can get inertia to lift up through to drive sternum and toss shoulders. Right.
We're like, this is all like you're gonna have your. No, it's not. It's good information. It's just the reason I want to stop is because I think a lot of this may be confusing for people to not be able to actually see. So you got to get down here, man, and
I'm coming.
We can do a video of all this shit while I'm asking you. That way you can actually like show it.
So Mike, is that a general rule for all exercises, keeping your chin like that?
No, it just depends on what it is. Like a lot of people, like a lot of my pressing stuff, people see that I bob my head and they misinterpret it as just like this. Like it's like nothing to do with that. Whereas like if I'm up here and if I'm retracted, I can't keep my head back.
No,
it's impossible. My head has to float, right? So my head is technically forward, but when I push, that's what happens. So my head moves back, but it doesn't go. Like,
Paul,
people are like,
a lot of what he's saying, we already do.
Yeah, we just don't put it in words like
without
this,
knowing we're doing it.
Yeah.
Because I know for sure, like I've never thought of the
especially like chest drive on elbow.
Yeah, I've never thought of the back thing, but for chest, I know for sure because I've had a million people comment on my videos when I used to put more videos up. Why is your head moving so much? And I'm like, it's just keep your head on the bench. I'm like, it's not. You can't when you're like pulled all the way back.
Yeah.
So okay. But yeah, we should do like some actual instructional shit in person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do one more or two more and then we'll go. Would you rather be a tiger or a lion in a fight to the death?
What? Against two each, tiger or lion?
Tiger.
Why would it have an advantage?
What
are we fighting?
What's the advantage?
The tiger or the lion? Which would you rather be?
I'd be the lion. That big mane.
You're dead.
My mane would protect me.
You think the tiger's going to beat a lion?
Tiger's like fucking weighs 500 pounds.
Google it.
A lion weighs like 700.
Watch.
I feel like they weigh like 800.
Yeah.
No.
They're king of the jungle for a reason.
You don't know lions.
Tigers are pretty big. I don't know.
What are you talking about, Mike?
Oh my God, how many lions have you been around?
Isn't it always a female lion that does the hunting anyway?
Here, let's look at this. Stop looking it up, Mike.
I'm looking it up. I don't believe you.
Tigers are the largest felines in the world and can reach up to 12.5 feet in length, including the tail, and up to 650 pounds on their.
There's a video here: 587-pound tiger versus 550-pound lion.
Wait. On their part, lions tend to weigh between 330 and 550.
Really?
And measure between 6 point.
Click on that, Fouad.
They messed something up. They said 650 pounds for a tiger.
I know they did.
330 to 550 kilos, which is more than that.
I know.
Click on that, Fouad. I said, can a lion beat a tiger?
Wait a minute.
No, below it.
According to the conversation charity called Save China's Tigers,
Tiger is indeed
stronger.
recent research indicates that a tiger is indeed stronger than a lion in terms of physical strength. The tiger is generally physically larger than a lion. Most experts would favor a Siberian and Bengal tiger over an African lion. Lions do have one advantage: they live and hunt in groups. See, that's why I said tiger, because tigers live by themselves.
Tigers were big, but
Tigers live by themselves. Lions hunt in
Tigers
prides.
live by themselves?
Yeah. They don't hunt in prides like lions do.
not pack hunters though.
Oh.
Neither do like leopards and shit.
Oh, yeah?
Like cheetahs, I think, fight in like a family.
Like panthers and stuff, yeah.
Lions fight in a pride. I think panthers might be like lone hunters as well.
Stealth.
Yeah. And I knew tigers were fucking giant. That's why I picked. Yeah. Sorry, Paul.
I figured lion because king of the jungle. It just reasons that
but
they
that's
would be
more.
the...
That's more. I think that's more because of the group dynamic.
But also depends. Like it just said Siberian tigers. That's not in the jungle, you know?
No, it said Bengal. It said Bengal as well.
I know, but I'm saying there's a lot of places where there might be one and not the other. So if
What
you're
about
saying a jungle, it might not be a jungle where tigers are, you know?
Right.
What about
yeah.
a liger?
A liger.
Those are fucking huge.
Are they?
Yeah.
I was
You
thinking
ever see a
something
video
different.
of a liger?
I was thinking something different.
They
now.
mated like a fucking tiger and a lion and got this giant
real?
fucking yeah.
You ever see mule deer?
You fucking mute.
They're huge.
This guy watches one episode of Joe Rogan. I've been fucking hearing about mule deer for like.
You guys ever heard of ayahuasca?
I'll try that.
You know the pyramids were built.
Have you seen that Nemaz kid from Toronto, the Persian kid, the comedian? Do you know who he is?
No.
He does like all these. He's fucking hilarious. He's on Instagram, Nemaz, but he does like a fucking awesome impression of Joe Rogan. He's like, yeah, I like mushrooms, like ayahuasca. Yeah, Jamie, pull that up. I think I might have unbelievable.
Oh shit! What did I do? Sorry, guys. 1 sec. I shared my whole desktop. Okay. This is
all of the videos. Comment down below which video so far has been your favorite.
Look at this fucking thing.
Full grown.
Look how big that is.
Oh my god.
So this is a lion tiger crossbred.
It's a liger.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah. Looks like a fucking horse.
They said that wasn't full grown either, right?
Really? Fuck. They're fucking crazy, man. Like, imagine having that as a pet. That's gonna turn on you one day.
I watched this kid on this documentary get this hyena as a puppy and try and keep it in his 2-bedroom apartment. And it showed him like a month later, the thing's like half the size and it's like eating everything. He's like, I don't know what to do with it. I got to get rid of it. I'm like, why would you take a fucking hyena as a pet? Like,
Right.
what do you think? What were you thinking?
I read an article that
Have you guys seen this kid? You see that?
Let me see.
Neemanaz?
Spell it, Mike.
I can see it. I'll look it up.
NEEMANAZ.
Oh, I got it. Neiman Naz.
You have to find the clip, and it's like he does Joe Rogan, he does like Gary V, all these different dudes. It's hilarious. From Toronto.
Oh, I gotta watch this one. 1 sec.
The Persian fucking shit is so funny, man.
Fuck, why is it? Oh shit.
David Goggins.
I remember when I was born, I didn't have a heart. But a lot of you guys had a heart. I had to make one with my mind. All right? Hey, come back here. What are you doing?
Sorry, I got so motivated. I thought we should go faster.
No. The only thing that's going to make you faster is if you do a marathon. And if you want to do a marathon, you're going to be willing to lose a couple toenails.
You gotta lose a toenail?
If you want to go faster, you're going to lose a whole ankle.
How's the whole ankle?
Yeah. If you want to be a winner, you're going to be able to lose a leg.
How am I gonna be faster with a whole
Because
leg
it's the thought of losing the leg is gonna make you go faster. That's the challenge, all right? That's the challenge. You better stay hard, motherfucker. Who's gonna carry the boats?
I'm gonna carry the
Who's
boat.
gonna carry the boats?
I'm gonna carry the
You
boat.
better carry those boats.
I'm gonna carry it.
Point the fucking camera in my face.
I will.
All right.
Better is he's just walking shirtless, just fat guy down the fucking.
That's fucking
Middle of
hilarious. I can't. I'm trying to find the fucking Rogan one.
He fucking buries him.
Yeah, this guy. I think I've seen this guy shit
I've
on.
seen some of these, yeah.
Oh, I gotta piss my fucking pants. Okay.
We'll just
Sorry.
get one more question, then we'll be done.
Okay. 1 sec.
What non-sexual thing turns you on? And be quiet because this is an office.
Turtles.
A turtle turns you on? That might be sexual. What do you do? This guy's on Twitter. This guy's just watching music videos. That's cool. Oh, it's Twitch. What are you twitching?
Valorant.
What's that?
It's an FPS video game.
I have no idea what you just said. This guy's typing a love song to his girl. What's something that's non-sexual that turns you on?
Pardon? Sunsets.
Sunsets? Ooh, that's nice. Why?
God's like making a painting for you.
Oh my god, that's so sweet. This guy looking cool with these hard drives on your ears. Can you hear me? What non-sexual thing turns you on?
This is kind of turning me on. I guess interviews.
I just imagine this guy walking down the street. Some guy's like, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a moment for?" You're like, "What nonsense?"
I'm sure you could just YouTube the Joe Rogan one. Just
Okay.
write even as Joe Rogan.
Fuck it. All right, I'm following him now. You never asked Big Mike Van Wyck if he takes his pants off for a shit or stands to one. That's actually true. We never did that. Let's do this. The last question, Mike.
What is it?
Do you sit or stand to shit when you wipe? When you wipe your ass?
Sit.
See, Ian and Paul.
I stand.
These guys stand to wipe their ass.
How do you know you're getting it all? It's
I don't
just
let you
close
stand.
together.
I stand and turn.
I stand and like squat my butt out and turn a bit, yeah.
Yeah. I maintain the squat too during.
It's a standing squat.
Yeah.
Mike, do you have to take your pants all the way off, or do you leave them around your ankles?
What the fuck am I for?
For those people that, like, get to take a shit, you know?
That was Guy. Guy takes his pants all the way off.
Even in public?
Actually, I remember Nick saying he takes everything off. He's got to get
Yeah, I was
naked.
gonna say, some people like to get naked.
I like the shit naked though.
I know a guy. I know a guy has to take a shower after every shit he takes.
There's
You
nothing
got
wrong
this
with
thing.
that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, if I had the time, I would do the same, but I don't have the time for that.
Okay, I gotta piss my pants. I gotta go.
Okay.
I love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.